Welcome, everybody, to another rendition of Delete Laws. What's going on out there in the land of America? How is everybody doing today? What is going on? How is everybody? So, today is a new day, and what we're going to do today is we're going to go over just a few things that show that smell is not probable cause. Smell is not probable cause. If you would please, everybody hit the like button. Hit the like button real quick and then type down in that comment section OTVO. Overturn Terry versus Ohio. Now, if you guys have your Trifold and you are so inclined and you want to open it up to number 5 on your Trifold, number 5 on your Trifold. That's what this article right here is all about. Smell is not probable cause. It is number 5 on your Trifold. As a matter of fact, the Commonwealth versus Barr out of Pennsylvania is the most on-point Mary Jane case there is in America. They got to get their ads in there. We'll kill the volume on this bad chicken so we don't have to listen to the ad. And this is all about Minnesota, St. Paul.
All right, time now, 9:44. This Tuesday, recreational marijuana becomes legal in Minnesota for adults 21 and older. People will be allowed to have 2 pounds of marijuana at home and up to 2 ounces of cannabis.
2 pounds, up to 2 pounds of Mary Jane is legal in the house in marijuana. Let me tell you something, in case you don't know, in case you have not ever danced with Mary Jane before, 2 pounds of Mary Jane is enough to last you for a year.
Out in public. And while it's up to individual cities whether or not marijuana can be used in public, statewide, it is not allowed while driving, on federal property, or in virtually all indoor public places or workplaces. So how is the law enforcement community preparing for this big change? Joining us now is Sheriff Kevin Torgerson, Sheriff of Olmsted County and longtime member of the Minnesota Sheriff's Association. Good morning, Sheriff. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Leah. Good to be with you.
And what do? They bring a pig on. They bring a pig to explain to you that this pig is in charge of your rights. This pig is going to be the filter of whether or not Mary Jane is going to be arrestable in Minnesota. Remember, pigs, when you go to the peace officer standard and training, they have 100% of pigs do not dance with Mary Jane. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? Do you think 100% of pigs don't dance with Mary Jane? Or do you think they lie, cheat?
We know that there's been so much debate over this. We know in large part law enforcement is against this. That aside, it's happening Tuesday. So
do you hear what she says? She says, I know law enforcement is against this. Who the hell are they? A bunch of dumb high school graduates? Bunch of morons? She knows that law enforcement is against this, and he shakes his head, yes, we are against it. Who the hell are you, bro?
So how are you and other sheriffs across the state preparing your deputies and your staff?
Prepare your deputies and your staff for not being able to arrest people.
For this change.
Yeah, well, it's the first thing was just really starting to understand the law. There's a couple of things that come out when you have legislative changes, especially big ones like this, is what's the legislative intent? What are they trying to do? And then how does it actually work on the street?
Well, what we're trying to do, Piggy, is make it so people don't go to jail for a plant that's harmless, that Willie Nelson's been using for 50 years, and we know it doesn't hurt you. We know people can drive. We know it doesn't affect your impairment. You can still function perfectly fine. The big problem in our country is alcohol. Trying to make it so you pigs don't arrest people for having a harmless plant. That's what the intention of the law is, pig. To get you out of our cars.
Does it actually work for the deputies? And that's what we're trying to sort through, not only with ourselves and the chiefs of police, but also the County Attorneys Association. So for us in Olmsted, we had a meeting again on Friday with our county attorney and some of their members and our corrections staff, just trying to sort it out. And how are we going to enforce what we can and, use caution where we have concerns.
Did you hear what he said? We're going to try to enforce where we can. Enforce what? That's the whole point of legalization, so that you'll leave us the hell alone. That's the entire plant. That's the entire thing. We don't want you to bother us because of Mary Jane. We don't want it. Put a 1 in the chat if you don't want people going to jail for Mary Jane. Put a 1 in the chat if you don't want to be harassed for Mary Jane. That it's absolutely ridiculously stupid. And he's, once again, the pigs are against it, and he's trying to figure out what he can enforce. What a pig.
Right. And we know, as I mentioned, people will be allowed to have 2 pounds at home, but 2 ounces away from home. Let's use a common traffic stop as an example. Yeah. How is that going to change whether... Do you have to smell it in order to ask someone about it?
Oh, right there. I'm going to read you the court proceedings in a moment. Smell is not probable cause to search your car. It's in your Trifold. It's number 5. This is another feather in your cap to deal with that pig. Didn't you hear about Minnesota? Their high court just ruled as well. Smell is not probable cause.
If you see some ounces, how do you know if it's 2 ounces or 4 ounces?
Yeah. Well, that's the trick, and we're trying to determine that. So, okay, what is 2 ounces? How do you look and see what 2 ounces is?
Right, and so we want to be able to arrest people. Remember, he's thinking right there, well, we could say it's more than 2 ounces. Maybe they put a fishing weight in the bag when they weigh it. Why not just leave people alone? How about that?
Somebody has it in the console of their car, and you can see it. Roughly 2 ounces is enough, about the size of an adult male's hand, maybe bigger than a tennis ball, not quite a softball size. So that's a rough estimate. Obviously, you get 2 ounces, you have to weigh it. And 2 pounds, when you look at that, it's a large football, so larger than an NFL football. And bigger than that yet. So how do you determine that? Again, that's the trick. So to get into that, yes, the odor of marijuana, very distinct. I think people that have been around it know how different that is from cigarette smoke. It has a very distinct odor. So that's one on a traffic stop. And then secondly, obviously, then it's going to be the impairment, driving behavior.
It's such a load of shit. Sanjay Gupta did an entire study on this. The more you dance with Mary Jane, the more able you are to dance with Mary Jane when you're driving. They did a big, huge study on it. I can pull it up. Sanjay Gupta. Okay? Sanjay Gupta.
And the behavior of the individual. And obviously, if it's present, that's going to allow the officer to take some extra steps.
It's going to allow the officer to detain you, put you in torture cuffs, and hurt you over a harmless plant. People want to be left alone by these pigs. We want the pigs out of our life. Put a 1 in the chat if you want these pigs out of our lives. Okay?
And again, it's like alcohol. Nothing different there. A cigarette or a vape pen or anything like that in your vehicle, available and accessible while you're driving. So it's no different than alcohol as far as that goes.
What did he just say? I don't know if I can rewind this because I have it on this. It's on Fox. I'm trying to rewind it here.
I think the big piece of this, we're nothing different there.
She's trying to do a sobriety check in her high heels. So stupid. Listen to what this pig says here.
A cigarette or a vape pen.
Okay, so yeah, it's different than a cigarette or a vape pen. We know that.
Or anything like that in your vehicle, available and accessible while you're driving.
In your vehicle, available and accessible while you're driving. Well, I hate to tell you guys this, and in Los Angeles, California, where I live, people often will take a rip before they drive across town because they're going to be in traffic for 45 minutes. So they literally will take a rip before they go drive across town in traffic. Do you understand that? I have friends who will be like, I got to drive to the valley. Let me take a rip real quick so I don't have to sit in traffic for 45 minutes. I can just kind of zone out and drive. How is that the same as alcohol? How is that? You can't just be taking shots and driving down the road. What a load of shit.
So it's no different than alcohol.
It's no different than alcohol. There it is right there. There's the pig perspective. That Mary Jane is no different than alcohol. He's a lion, jackboot, thug pig. Put it in the comment section. lying jackboot thug pig. Mary Jane and alcohol are completely different, totally different. There are hundreds and thousands of deaths every day in each and every state in America from alcohol. In contrast, there are 0 in every state in America from Mary Jane. Hundreds or thousands a day in each state from alcohol, and 0 from Mary Jane.
As far as that goes. So I think the big piece of this, we're trying to educate our officers and deputies and troopers. We also need to educate the public.
No, we don't need you to educate us, bro. You feed propaganda. You are literally a terrorist. You are the fear. You are the darkness. You are the demon. You're evil. We don't want your education. We're going to educate you, pig. You work for us. We educate you.
And I appreciate the opportunity here. Maybe somebody's going to listen a little bit.
Why would anybody want to listen to you? You're full of shit. All you want to do is lock people in a dungeon. You make money by being a terrorist on American people. Don't let the nice looking guy in the white shirt with the good smile and he's talking, we're just trying to figure it out. No, this pig is trying to figure out how to arrest you for something the legislator just legalized. The legislators legalized it to get it so the pigs couldn't arrest you. And this pig, what do? They don't have legislators on. They have a pig on their programming. It's state-run media. This woman right here is a part of it.
What does this mean for canine teams?
Canines should be disbanded. We have to get rid of canine pigs altogether in this country. Are
they going to be even busier and in higher demand?
Well, canines can't, we're not going to be able to use those that can still or are trained to detect marijuana.
Oh my goodness. But do you think that'll happen, or do you think they'll just continue to do it? Do you think they'll just continue to arrest people for Mary Jane like they did in California for an entire 10 years after we legalized it in California? 10 years after we legalized Mary Jane and marijuana, jackboot thug pigs were still arresting people.
Because marijuana is illegal, so they're only supposed to be able to search for illegal substances. So any canine teams, canine handlers, and dogs.
Put a 1 in the chat if those pigs don't care about the law. If they think they can arrest you and say, "Oh, well, I didn't know it was legal now."
That are still able and only trained to smoke marijuana or smell marijuana.
The dogs are trained to smoke Mary Jane.
Are basically retired. They're done. So for our office, for the last 5 years, anticipating this, we've been training the dogs that do detect illegal substances to not detect marijuana. So we've got 2 dogs that can't be used in that capacity anymore.
Retire those dogs. Let them be dogs again. Let them stop being abused by that canine handler. Canine handlers regularly beat, abuse, and torture their animals. Why do they do it? So the dog will be mean. It's a fact. This guy right here, don't look at him and think that he's good. Look at him and realize he's the devil. And I'm not kidding one bit. Remember, this guy right here would oversee you being stomped and beaten and torture cuffed and taken to a dungeon and then say stupid shit to you like you shouldn't break the law, even if you didn't.
And I have no idea how many around the state are like that. But that's a big training piece, something we brought to the legislators. And
so it's so funny. I look at these pigs, right? I take a look at this pig. I look at this pig. He's got green eyes like I do. Looks and talks like the nicest guy in the world, doesn't he? But I just want you to remember that this is him before he pulls off his mask and reveals that he's a jackboot thug pig devil. Just remember that. Don't let these guys fool you. Don't let their human qualities fool you. They're evil. This is an evil person. This person is possessed by the devil. He enjoys hurting people. He enjoys overseeing hurting people. We need to retrain our brains. When you see a pig, realize you're looking at the human version of that person. Right underneath the mask is a devil. This person is an evil devil. Don't trust him. Don't believe in him. Don't listen to a word he says. He's evil. He wants to hurt you. He wants to arrest you. He wants to put you in a dungeon. He wants you to have to pay to become free. He wants to impound your car. If you call for a supervisor, remember, What do we know about a supervisor? When you call in a supervisor, you're getting a bigger, more experienced pig. When they call in a supervisor, who do you think they're calling in? The nice white guy with the green eyes who talks real sensible, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and we're going to retire those dogs that smell Mary Jane. We've been anticipating this, so now we're trying to figure out how we can enforce it. Mary Jane is just like alcohol. No, it's not, pig. No, it's not. Mary Jane is not just like alcohol. It's not. Put a 1 in the chat if Mary Jane and alcohol are completely different. But that's not what he was selling.
Said this is going to be a big impact. It's $25,000 to just get a new canine and get the handler and that canine trained. So
it's more than that, buddy. It's more than that. The dog itself is expensive, then the training is expensive, and then you have to train a guy. He has to be just do the math. If you are training a canine pig, then he's not on the street. So that's double money. You're paying someone to learn how to handle a dog, to abuse the dog, to beat the dog, to make the dog mean. And meanwhile, while we're paying him hundreds of dollars a day, there's not someone on the street for those hundreds of dollars a day upholding the rights of Americans. So it's a double dip. We pay for that pig to be trained, and that pig is not on the streets doing what we really want, which is investigating real crime, going after real criminals, upholding and protecting the rights of real Americans, not illegal immigrants who become cops so that they can then get their citizenship by putting us in dungeons. Not military who is now full of illegal immigrants because they just need people to do their bidding. They're trying to replace us. Just remember that.
That's a lot of money for especially small agencies that may not have that laying around to do that.
That is a lot of money. We know what
small agencies that may not have that laying around, they can just steal people's cars using civil asset forfeiture or criminal asset forfeiture.
One thing that's come up is whether people can use marijuana in public is up to individual cities. How is that impacting someone like you and deputies that cover many, many miles in an entire county in multiple cities? Do you have any particular cities in Olmsted County that are changing? But also just as a whole, how are, when you have a jurisdiction so large, how is that changing and complicating things?
Oh man, you got a big jurisdiction, how are you going to enforce? How are you going to enforce laws on people for Mary Jane, a totally harmless plant, completely and utterly harmless? Well, how are you going to enforce that? Are you going to allow people to smoke Mary Jane out on the streets? And so what does that mean? If they do smoke Mary Jane out on the street, then they're going to go to a dungeon, a legal substance that you're now going to arrest them if they smoke it in the park. Do you see? Like that kid yesterday who got arrested for being drunk in public or for resisting arrest when he was just being a normal American person living his life. Normal American living his life.
Yeah, well, it's going to be complicated.
It's going to be complicated how we get to arrest people. We're going to figure out how to arrest people.
But we're used to that in some ways.
Oh, no, you're not used to it. You have done a shit job since the beginning. You are a dog shit group of people. You only attract the lowest level knuckle draggers to join the cops. If you join the police force, you are a pig and you are my enemy.
Curfews are different in each of our cities, so we'll adjust. But City of Rochester, which is our county seat, they just had a council meeting last week, and they made some decisions and had some discussion about what they're going to do. They did not restrict it publicly yet. What they did do is they restricted until January of 2025 the ability to have any dispensaries placed in Rochester.
So this is January of 2024. So for a year, you can't have any dispensaries. So Mary Jane is legal in Rochester. You just can't buy it. So hold on a second. Square this. So Mary Jane is legal in Rochester, Minnesota, but there's no dispensaries that are going to be available until 1 year from now. Okay. So let me ask you a question then. If I purchase Mary Jane from a local who has the Mary Jane, is that a crime? Is it a crime? If that person has a football, he said, an NFL football size of Mary Jane, and I purchase a tiny portion of that football, have I committed a crime? And has the man selling that Mary Jane committed a crime? If there's no dispensaries where you can legally purchase it, well, then you have to buy it from somebody. Do you see? So the Rochester City Council said it's not going to be available for a year. Okay.
Which I don't know that they're going to be there until January of 2025.
Until January of 2025.
The ability to have any dispensaries placed in Rochester, which I don't know that they're going to be there and ready by that time anyway. But I know there's other cities around the state, and most of our small cities that we have around Rochester are all.
You mean that half of America dances with Mary Jane and half of America wants Mary Jane, and the only people who get in trouble are the people who provide the Mary Jane for people who want Mary Jane? I thought capitalism was about supply and demand.
All talking about public events, public situations, sidewalks, parks, things like that, and setting restrictions on that. And of course, when you have
there it is, you just heard it. What's his goal? What's his
an ordinance? It's just that we have around Rochester are all talking about public events,
people around Rochester. The cops are talking about what?
Public situations, sidewalks, parks, things like that, and setting restrictions on that.
Setting restrictions on that so we can arrest you for illegal substance. This is the same thing that they did with alcohol. 1920, Prohibition happens. Prohibition creates the industrial prison complex that we live in today. In 1920, we have less than 40,000 people in prison. From 1920, with the 18th Amendment, the Volstead Act in 1919, the 18th Amendment in 2020, which criminalized alcohol, made it a crime to have it. So from 1919 to 1933, the prison industry went from 40,000 people to over 200,000 people. The prison industrial complex was built on the back of alcohol being criminalized. Okay, so now what happens after that? When they legalize alcohol in 1933 with the 21st Amendment, what happens? What happens is the elitists, what they do through the police organizations is they say that you have to have this or that or this kind of system, or you have to go through these particular regulations. What it does is it cuts out the middleman. Everybody celebrates Anheuser-Busch or Don Julio or whoever your alcohol provider is. Well, let me tell you something. The alcohol was a total scam for the elitists where they could make the money. And then cops, if you had a mom and pop's operation for alcohol in 1933, the cops raided you and arrested you. It was only for big box business. The big box businesses could do the alcohol, but you as the individual free person, when alcohol was finally decriminalized with the 21st Amendment, you couldn't sell it. You couldn't mix it. You couldn't brew it. You couldn't bottle it. You couldn't sell it. Because if you did, these same jackboot thug pigs would come in and arrest you. So where does it go from there? How do we really get the citizens? Well, now you can't have an open container. I'm sorry, what are you saying? You can't have an open container on the street. Didn't we just legalize alcohol with the 21st Amendment? Why can't I have a can of alcohol on the street? It's illegal. And now you're seeing the exact same thing play out with this jackboot thug pig. They're going to legalize Mary Jane statewide, and then this guy's going to try to figure out where we can enforce on you. Where you can do it here, but you can't do it there. You can't do it within 300 feet of a school. If you do the dance with Mary Jane within 300 feet of a school, then it's a felony. What? What are you talking about? The kids in the school dance with Mary Jane. What are you talking about? Half of the kids dance with Mary Jane, the other half don't. Me being within 300 yards of the school and dancing with Mary Jane has nothing to do with whether or not those kids are going to dance with Mary Jane. Those kids were the ones who I bought it from before it became legal and the dispensary was open. Such a joke.
And of course, when you add an ordinance, it's just going to, I think part of the legislative intent in this was to get away from contentious relationships and situations with people with law enforcement. I argued many times that this is going to create more problems and create more contentious situations between law enforcement having to enforce these ordinances or simply just educate people on the changes in these ordinances.
Let me run that back.
And you can't smoke here, and setting restrictions on that. And
setting restrictions on where you can dance with Mary. And if you don't dance with Mary in the right places, we can arrest you for that. And what victim was created? I mean, think about it. Just think about it. If he's going to create restrictions and ordinances and statutes based around you dancing with Mary Jane, well, so if you're in a park at 3:00 in the morning and nobody's around and you're with your buddy and you guys are dancing with Mary Jane in this little makeshift clubhouse, whatever's on that park, right? Then all of a sudden you're going to go to jail. Oh, we have a restriction right here. We have a restriction. You can't do it here because if you do, you get to get arrested. For what? Where's the victim? Who's the victim of the crime that I committed? Do you see the PSYOP operation? It's legal, and now we're going to create all these parameters for how you can get arrested for a perfectly legal substance. Save the kids. The kids can't know what Mary Jane is. Put a 1 in the chat if every kid in America knows what Mary Jane is. Put a 1 in the chat if every kid in America knows what the smell of Mary Jane is. Am I wrong? Are there kids out there going, what is that smell, mommy? No. When I take my nephews out, my nephews are 8 and 6 years old. 8 and 6. And those are the oldest two. There's a few more. And when I go out and I take them to the gym, to the jungle gym or to the park or to ice cream or to pizza, wherever I take them, we're driving down the road. We hit a stoplight, windows are down, and my nephew will go, I smell Mary Jane. He's 8. They're going to create it, so they're going to protect the kids. The kids know better than you and me put together.
of course, when you add an ordinance, it's just going to, I think part of the legislative intent in this was to.
No, the legislative intent in this was to get the cops out of our lives. For how many hundreds of years has a chemical been criminalized? It's been 100 since 1937 with the Mary Jane Tax Act.
Get away from contentious relationships and situations with people, with law enforcement. I've argued many times that this is going to create more problems and create more contentious situations between law enforcement having to enforce these ordinances or simply just educate people on the changes in these ordinances. And you can't smoke here, you can't go here. I mean, just this week at our county fair, there's restrictions on where people can have alcohol. So it's not any different than other restrictions that we have. And we, our deputies are asked to enforce and try to educate people that, okay, during the fair, you can't have alcohol in this area where there's kids and events going on. So, it's
time
going to be
will
a
tell.
lot of education.
Yeah, I've just not be there because we're out of time. Time will tell, and we'll see how it plays out, and we'll absolutely have to have you back. Sheriff Kevin Torgerson.
So he said, I'm going to go back just a little bit. I wanted to hear him out here.
Appreciate your time.
And create more contentious situations. Many times that this is going to create more problems.
Did you hear what he just said?
And create shifts and situations with people, with law enforcement.
So people who want people who want their rights respected are going to tangle with pigs. Listen to what he says here.
Are all talking about public events, public situations, sidewalks, parks, things like that,
where we can restrict it and create laws to arrest you,
and setting restrictions on that. And of course, when you add,
who the hell is this guy to set restrictions for anything? Who's he? I mean, what gives him any moral standard over you or me? What gives him any ethical standard over you and me? How is he more ethical or more moral than you or I? Why would he get to tell us what we can and can't do? Who decided that?
Add an ordinance, it's just going to, I think part of the legislative intent in this was to get away from contentious relationships and situations with people, with law enforcement.
Charlie, come here. Go to your pillow, buddy. Go over there. Go to your pillow. There you go, good boy. So I'm going to listen to this again because
I restrict. On that. And of course, when you add an ordinance,
it's
just gonna,
gonna,
I think part of the
I think part of the
legislative
legislative intent in this
was to get away from contentious relationships and situations with people with law enforcement.
Oh man, get away from contentious situations from people with law enforcement. So in other words, for the past 100 years, since the 1937 Mary Jane Tax Act, roughly 100 years, people have been persecuted and prosecuted, arrested and charged, called felons, called criminals for basic Mary Jane. And so what he's saying is he thinks the basic legislature was what they were trying to do is get away from the contentious relationships between people and cops. Yeah, because I don't want to be arrested for a harmless plant. I don't want the person I bought it from to be arrested for a harmless plant. I don't want people to bother me over a harmless plant. If you're going to arrest my cousin, my brother, my best friend, my lover, and I'm going to watch her get arrested over Mary Jane, then you and I are going to have a problem and I'm going to hate that cop. You just arrested my girlfriend for doing absolutely nothing wrong to anybody else. She didn't hurt anybody else. She wasn't teasing anybody else. She wasn't harassing anybody else. She didn't hurt another person. And this jackboot thug pig arrested her. And he's exactly correct. Put a 1 in the chat if there's a contentious relationship between the citizens of this country and the pigs. Put a 1 in the chat if there's a contentious relationship. And the reason why is because of them. They do it. They are the problem. The cops, the legislatures, the judges, the prosecutors, the government in general has been a gigantic enemy of the people, an absolute enemy of you and me.
I've argued many times that this is going to create more problems.
So he says they legislated it to get rid of the contentious relationship between people and cops. And he says he's arguing that this is going to cause more problems. You mean making something legal that 50% of the country wants to do, it's going to cause more problems. Typical pig. Remember when I started off this video 30 minutes ago, I said this pig is against you. He's the enemy. He's the evil. He's the darkness. He's the fear. He's the enemy of freedom, the enemy of liberty. I said that right when I started the video, right? And some people, they watch that and they're like, oh, Chille's such a big meanie to the pigs. He doesn't like pigs. And, you run around saying you hate cops. That's the problem. You're causing more division. I want to create some more division. We abolish law enforcement and bring back peace officers and law and upholding the rights, not law enforcers. There's a huge difference. Disrespect these pigs right to their face. And now he's saying that legalizing something that the people want legalized, that the legislators we vote for, they legalized a substance that's been illegal for too long, for 100 years. And now he says it's just going to cause more problems. That's who they are. That's who pigs are. That guy right there, he is a pig.
And create more contentious situations between.
No, it won't. Leave us the flock alone, dude. Leave us alone.
Law enforcement having to enforce these ordinances or simply just educate people.
Having to enforce these ordinances, there are none, number one. There have been no ordinances. And number two, educate people. We don't want your education. You literally are propaganda and lies. You are a total scumbag, dude.
On the changes in these ordinances, and you can't smoke here, you can't go here. I mean,
well, how about just taking off all those stupid ordinances? How about that? How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? Catch me outside.
Just this week at our county fair, there's restrictions on where people can have alcohol.
Alcohol and marijuana are totally, totally different. Alcohol causes people to have fistfights. Put one in the chat. That's true. You put a bunch of guys in a room, put 1 or 2 women, there'll be a fist fight with enough alcohol. I don't care if the guys are married. I don't care if the women are single. I don't care how it is. When you put 5 or 6 guys in a room, get them all drunk and put 1 or 2 women in there where there's not enough women to men, you will get a fist fight soon. If those guys don't know each other, it'll be a fist fight within minutes. As soon as they're drunk, it'll be fist fights within minutes. You put a room full of people together who are smoking Mary Jane, and there's no fist fights. There's no fist fights. And this jackboot thug pig is trying to equate alcohol to Mary Jane. Don't let them do it. Every time you hear a pig say that, say, no, 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 no. They are totally, totally different. They are not even close to the same. They are not even remotely close to the same. It's not even apples and oranges. It's more like broccoli and bananas. They just don't go together. It just doesn't work. You're just selling us dog shit and telling us to eat it. Pig.
So it's not any different.
Yes, it is different. Yes, it is different.
Than other restrictions that, or simply just educate people on the changes in these ordinances. And you can't smoke here, you can't go here. I mean, just this week at our county fair, there's restrictions on where people can have alcohol. So it's not any different than other restrictions that we have. And we, our deputies are asked to enforce and try to educate people that, okay, during the fair, you can't have alcohol in this area where there's kids and events going on. So.
There's the kids part. There's the kids part. Can't have alcohol where there's kids in an event. So, okay, Jackboot Thug Pig, let me explain it to you. So what he just said is they're going to have to educate you. You can dance with Mary Jane here. You can't dance with her there. So what this is setting up for is pretty soon you were over here dancing with Mary Jane, and then you got the pigs all over you, and then they're pig-splaining to you as they're arresting you. Oh, you see, you can't dance with Mary over here because you're too close to the kids. We're going to have the kids come over here, and the kids are going to be going to the school over there. And then when you see the kids, they could smell the Mary Jane. And then what happens is the kids are going to smell it, and then that's going to turn them all into zombies. They're probably not going to go to school the rest of the day because they ain't got they smelled the Mary Jane. And as soon as the kids smell Mary Jane, they're immediately addicted. And it's worse than meth. Alcohol and Mary Jane are completely different. The only thing they have in common is that they both come from a plant. That's it. That's the only thing they actually have in common. Past that, there's no similarities. Almost zero. They are not nearly the same. And this pig is trying to sell to the people of Minnesota that Mary Jane and alcohol are the same. It's no different. It's the same. That's what he said. That's what he said. It's no different.
Time will tell. Yeah, I'm just not be there because we're out of time. Time will tell, and we'll see how it plays out. And
don't let this guy's smile and his likable demeanor while he's not actually being a demon. Don't let that fool you. This guy's a demon. He's overseen people be killed. He's lied on reports. He's cheated. He's stolen. He's lied on reports himself. He's physically abused people. He's physically hurt people. He's watched other and other pigs and other cops physically abuse people and then lied on reports. He's lied to victims' faces of the cops who abused them. This man has cheated, lied, and stolen. He has cheated people for decades. Don't look at him and see him for anything other than he is. He's a scoundrel and he's a fraud. And he's a pig. Don't let him smile and, he kind of reminds me of my uncle. Kind of reminds me of my grandpa or my dad. Not at all. Your dad isn't a freaking demon underneath of a human clone. This guy is a human clone with a demon underneath of him. He has to do what he's told. It needs to get those ordinances created so that you can do it here, but you can't do it there. And if you do it over there, we'll take you to the dungeon for a victimless crime. Don't let these pigs fool you. They are evil.
And we'll absolutely have to have you back. Sheriff Kevin Torgerson, right. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks, Leah. Have a great day.
You as well. Care. Thank you.
So there's now do me a favor. Forgive me. I have absolutely no respect for police. Absolutely none. I know that they're pigs. I know that they're jackboot thug pig losers. So do me a favor, put a 1 in the chat if you have a Trifold, because this next bit of information is really, really relevant. Put a 1 in the chat if you have one of the Trifolds that's on deletelaws.com, because these words right here that I'm about to read, they're going to validate what is number 5 inside of your Trifold. Cops pull you over, and the cop says that he has a smell that maybe Mary Jane has been in your car or you were dancing with Mary Jane. And I created this Trifold 3 years ago. And when I created the Trifold, it was 2021, and now it's 2023. And in the year 2021, the Commonwealth versus Barr out of Pennsylvania made the most on-point case law that there is in the country. And the most on-point case law in the country is that odor is not probable cause to search your car. And it says right there, so Donna's got the posters and the has the Trifold and the cop cards. Right on, Dr. Donna. So number 5 on your Trifold, when the cop says that he smells Mary Jane, you now, especially with the information I just gave you, you can then say, cop says, hey, I think I smell Mary Jane. I want to search your car. 1 second, officer. This is the most on-point case law in America right now. Commonwealth versus Barr, 2021, where it says that any place that Mary Jane is sold recreational or medicinal, that the smell of Mary Jane is not probable cause. Now, that case is backed up recently by the Minnesota courts as well. This is the most on-point case law. You cannot search my car because you say you smell something. And if you do, you violate my rights. I showed you the law on paper. I showed the paper to the camera. I showed you to the camera. What's your name and badge number for the federal civil rights lawsuit I file against you for violating my 4th Amendment right of illegal search and seizure? What is it? What's your name and badge number? Because I hate to tell you, but I will sue you. And the reason I'll sue you isn't because I think I'll win, because I think the federal judge will work against me 100% of the time. The reason I sue you is so that your name goes on Google that you violated someone's federal civil rights. And you know what? Doesn't matter to me, because no matter what, when someone reads something about you that you've done something bad, there's always a small percentage, if not a larger percentage, that believe that you're bad. And that's why I'm going to sue you in a federal civil rights lawsuit. If you search my car and you say because it's smell, because here's the law right here. Here's the law. It's right here. It's backed up in Minnesota recently. Now you might want to stand down, you jackboot, thug, pig. Why don't you go resign? Go retire, go do something noble with your life. And just so you know, the majority of the people, we strongly dislike you. Most of us, there's some people who openly say that they hate you. And you want to add me to that list, or do you want to fuck off? That's how you use your camera. That's how you use your camera. You use your camera like it's a ninja warrior. Now this sucks because the font is so small. So I'll open it. I'll do it like this here. So this is the actual court holding. Recreational Mary Jane for Minnesota in adults. The Court of Appeals ruling has upheld the precedent that odor cannot be used as probable cause for police officers to perform a search without a warrant. Minnesota Court of Appeals ruling has upheld the precedent that odor cannot be used as probable cause to search without a warrant. There it is right there. What does it say in your Trifold number 5? Commonwealth versus Barr out of Pennsylvania. In states where Mary Jane is legally sold for recreational or medicinal purposes, pigs cannot use the scent of cannabis as grounds for search or seizure. The mere presence of a Mary Jane odor does not automatically establish probable cause. It is important to grant it is important not to grant consent for a search or seizure solely because of an officer claims to detect the smell of Mary Jane. It's right there. Now, let's say, for example, though, that you have all the chips. You know the Commonwealth versus Barr from 2021. You know, what was the name of this case? It was Robinson versus Minnesota. Minnesota versus Robinson. Okay, so in Minnesota versus Robinson, it said, and the holding at the Minnesota Appellate Court was that the smell is not probable cause to search. So if you have all the chips, if you're put together and you're solid and that cop comes up and he says in your car, oh, I think I smell Mary Jane. Step out of the car. I'm going to search the car. You now have the opportunity to try to get that pig fired. You now have the way to get that pig fired. And the way you do it, when he says, get out of the car, I want to search it, you first inform him of it. You inform him of it. And you have to show the camera. And then you tell him that, and he says, I'm going to search the car, get out of the car. And you say, okay. Then you film that dirty pig search your car. And then you file your federal, well, first you send me the video, and then we crowdfund your federal civil rights lawsuit, and we sue those jackboot thug pigs. The initial charges stem from an incident that involved possession of a pistol before recreational Mary Jane was legalized in Minnesota. In February 2021, Jonathan Robinson was charged with possession of a pistol without a permit. Possession of a pistol without a permit. I mean, we don't have a Second Amendment in this country. I thought we had a right to bear arms. So you're going to have Bruin versus New York gun and pistol is going to pass in early 2023 that says you don't have to have a permit. So not only would this case get thrown at, well, this case should be thrown out because of Bruin versus New York Pistol and Gun Club. Because at that point in 2023, the Supreme Court, the black robe tyrants, a broken clock is right twice a day. They said, no, you don't have to have a permit to have a firearm. So, but as we can see in February 2021, Jonathan Robinson was arrested for possession of a pistol without a permit. Well, then we don't have a Second Amendment. If you can be arrested for having a pistol, then we don't have a Second Amendment. Could you imagine how many death threats I get a day? Do you guys know this, right? You guys realize I get death threats every day, right? I mean, tons, right? I probably get 10, 20 death threats a day. People would say they're going to kill me. So could you imagine just for a moment if I went into Massachusetts and I wasn't able to bring my firearm across and then someone killed me? Could you imagine that? Could you even imagine? Chuck, welcome. Everybody welcome Chuck Yeager. Thanks. Welcome to Team DLZ, my friend. Welcome to Team DLZ. So then it says possession, following the traffic stop, driving 68 and a 55. He was also charged with obstruction of a legal process and possession of 1.4 grams of Mary Jane. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. 1.4 grams of Mary Jane. Smaller than this pin. If there it is. That's 1.4 grams of Mary Jane right there. He went to jail for this. If this was Mary Jane, this is how much Mary Jane he would have had. He would go to jail for this. Maybe 1.5 of these. That's he went to jail for this. For having a pistol to protect himself and for having this much of a chemical that was criminalized in 1937 to make sure they could protect the DuPont industry of plastics and pharmaceuticals and William Randolph Hearst newspaper and timber business. And that's why Mary Jane was criminalized to begin with. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. So now as we continue down here, it's going to say, during the course of the stop, a police officer was said to have smelled an odor of Mary Jane. Robinson initially denied his vehicle smelled like Mary Jane and refused pigs to perform a search. After allegedly refusing commands from 2 officers involved in the stop, Robinson was physically removed from the car, at which point police found a loaded gun in the center console and the Mary Jane. Prior to the discovery, there was no evidence and no later findings by the district court that Robinson displayed any signs of impairment while driving. There was also no evidence that pigs observed contraband in plain view before they found it. So did you see this right here? He refused to allow law enforcement to perform a search. So he said, I do not consent to searches or seizures. So then, because he denied them searching the car, after allegedly refusing commands from 2 pigs, they physically grabbed him. So they just made up that he was disorderly, or I don't know what. You don't have to listen to pigs if it's an unlawful order. So I don't know what. I have no idea. Prior to the discovery, there was no evidence or lady findings of the district court that he was impaired or is in plain sight. A district court initially determined that once pigs stopped Robinson and detected an odor of Mary Jane, there was sufficient probable cause for the pigs to search the vehicle and any container that may reasonably contain evidence of criminal activity related to the Mary Jane. A jury eventually found Robinson guilty of firearm and Mary Jane, and he was sentenced to a year in jail. During his defense, Robinson argued to suppress all evidence discovered during the traffic stop and search of his vehicle. He also argued to dismiss the charges due to insufficient probable cause for police to search his car. The district court in which he was charged ultimately denied both motions. Of course they did. What did I say a second ago? What did I say a second ago? The judges are working against us. It doesn't matter if it's the law. It doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. The judge is working against us. I thought that when I got to federal court, that when I sued enough of these pigs in federal district court or circuit court, or maybe we can get to certiorari, maybe, just maybe, that we could get some justice. I mean, maybe, just maybe we could get some justice. And it just seems as though we absolutely cannot. It just seems like we cannot. Like there's no real justice. It's just total and complete and utter crap. Robinson appealed the decision, arguing the district court was wrong in determining that the smell of Mary Jane alone was probable cause for pigs to search his vehicle without a warrant. Through his appeal, he asked the court to reverse the concurrent 365 days in jail and asked for resentencing because the maximum sentence for a gross misdemeanor is now 364 days. In the appellate court written by Judge Chille C. Ida, the court ultimately agreed with Robinson in concluding that the police lacked probable cause to search his vehicle. Police lacked the probable cause to search his vehicle. Citing several legal precedents, the appellate court wrote that probable cause requires more than mere suspicion, but less than the evidence of a conviction, while arguing that the United States and Minnesota constitutions prohibit unreasonable searches and seizures by government. There it is right there. Read it again. Read it again. Police lacked probable cause to search his vehicle. Right there. Mary Jane is legally sold in that state. You don't have probable cause to search. Oh, KT, that's a troll. Just send them packing. It's just a troll. Fish and Syndicate, what is going on? Good to see you, Fish and Syndicate. This guy's an activist and an auditor. He's out there. So Mary Jane now is going to go nationwide. It already is nationwide. Well, there's only 30, 34 or 35 states that have legalized it. So there's 15 or 16 states left that need to legalize. It's going to go nationwide. However, no matter what, now, you have to be in a state where there's legal recreational or medicinal Mary Jane to use this trifold and cite Commonwealth versus Barr. And then because you have paid attention, you can then cite Johnson versus Minnesota. Was that his name? Was his last name Johnson? Robinson versus Minnesota. While Robinson's appeal was pending, the Minnesota Supreme Court ruled in 2023 that Mary Jane odor can't be the basis to support probable cause for vehicle search, ruling in part that for probable cause to arise, the totality of the circumstances must give rise to a fair probability that Mary Jane is being possessed or used in a criminally illegal manner. In the absence of any other evidence, Mary Jane odor on its own is insufficient to establish a fair probability that search would yield evidence of criminal, illegally drug-related contraband or conduct. There it is. So now, when you know that you can simply say, I'm going to cite Commonwealth versus Barr, but I'm also going to cite Robinson versus Minnesota 2024. Was it 2023 or 2024? So it doesn't matter. You can just cite Robinson versus Minnesota. These are the most on point. And the Supreme Court here, they're citing, without saying it here in this article, we'd have to look into the actual case. The appellate court ruling ultimately chose to reverse and remand Robinson's case to the district court with instructions to reopen its hearing. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. There it is right there. You're reading it. You are reading it. Mary Jane odor, not probable cause for search in the court. According to the court. What does it say on your trifold? You can't search my car. There's no probable cause for odor. It's right there. Now you know. Remember, I was just talking to KT about another troll in the comments. I have thousands of trolls for 3 years now. For 3 years since I very first created. Oh, let me show you the difference here. show you the difference right here. Let me show you the difference of this right here. Let me show you the difference here. That's why when you have people who talk a lot of shit, that's why my shirt on the front of it, that's why my shirt says constitutional law scholar on it and yours says troll on it. That's the difference between me and you. I sit here and read this stuff all day, every day. I spend 3-4 hours every day reading Supreme Court cases and case law so that I can understand it, so that I can teach it to you properly. So I can sit here and teach it to you properly. Dedicated myself to doing this. Put a 1 in the chat if you have a trifold. Here was the original trifold. So people say, this is the difference between printing on regular paper and printing on the indestructible trifold paper. This is 3 years old. Everybody knows it. I started this one 3 years ago. And at the top of it, I put what the cop would say: open your glove box, give me your ID, don't film me, watch your mouth, I want to search your car. And then on the other side of this, I smell Mary Jane right there. Let me talk. Is that a threat? No highway parking, revoke consent. You have to answer. So right here on this one that's 3 years old on indestructible paper, you see the color still vivid. It's the exact same thing I'm doing with this one. The new version's just a little clearer on darker paper, so the white letters pop in the night if you're having to read it. But look, this is 3 years old. Do you see look, if this was regular paper, the seams where it folds would be ruined. You have to print it on really, really good paper. It's expensive and it takes time, but you have to do it right. And so now you guys know. And then right here, is this the driver card? That's the non-driver card. There's the driver card right here on your Fifth Amendment cop card. On the Fifth Amendment cop card driver, it says right there, number 5, cop says he smells weed. This case law only applies to states that sell medicinal or recreational Mary Jane. While filming, show this card or state smell is not probable cause. 2021 Commonwealth versus Barr, smell is not probable cause. In addition, officer, the 2024 case of Robinson versus Minnesota backs up that the most on-point case law today is still the 2021 case of Commonwealth versus Barr. That's going to be backed up by the Minnesota State Supreme Court. That's going to cite this case as being the most well, I don't know if it actually cited it. I need to look into the actual case to see which cases they cited in that case law in Minnesota. So I need to look at that. But this case could have been cited and should have been cited because the truth doesn't care. The truth is the truth. And so I don't know for sure if they cited this case law. I just get excited sometimes. But I'm just excited because for 3 years, people have been saying to me, these haters have been saying that, oh, that's not true. That's not. Well, the Minnesota State Supreme Court just said, using a bevy of previous case law, we find that odor is not probable cause for search. I've been arguing this. You have no idea. I've been arguing this with hundreds or thousands of people for years. And now you can plainly see it yourself from Fox News, the cop-sucking channel 101. Mary Jane odor is not probable cause for a police search. It is not probable cause for a police search. That means that when you get some jackboot thug pig in front of you, that jackboot thug pig might not know the law. Put a 1 in the chat if pigs don't know the law. Put a 1 in the chat if pigs don't know the law. They don't. That means you have to show them the law. Step out of the car. I want to search your vehicle. I think I smell Mary Jane. Officer, I need to inform you, and I'm going to inform you on camera as I tell you that there are several cases in several states that clearly state that the smell of Mary Jane alone is not probable cause to search my car or to even order me out of the car. You can order me out of the car in the name of officer safety. You cannot order me out of the car and say that you have probable cause to search because of Mary Jane. It's on the trifold right here. You can read this one. This is Commonwealth versus Barr. It's also held up in the 2024 case of Robinson versus Minnesota. If you'd like, I can show you also on my cop card where it says the exact same thing. The exact same thing. Commonwealth versus Barr, smell is not probable cause. You have to show the card. You have to show the trifold. You have to show the pig on camera. And then if the pig continues, then I'm just going to talk right into my camera. I just showed this pig the card. I just told him the law. He's violating my rights. It goes around his qualified immunity, and I'm going to sue that jackboot thug pig as soon as I get out of here. You're going to go on Google as a federal civil rights lawsuit filed against you for violating my civil liberties. You don't want to go to jail. The way you stop from going to jail is show them the law in writing. Show them the law in writing. In writing. You show it to them written on a piece of paper. That way, when you go to court and you say, read this. Can you guys see that? Can you read that clearly? Okay. So this says here, whether a right is clearly established depends on whether the contours of a right are sufficiently clear. If you don't state the right, it's not clear to the cop. The judge is going to say, he didn't know. He didn't know he was violating your rights. Qualified immunity. Okay. So that every reasonable official would have understood that what he's doing violates the right. That right. Do you see? This is called the clearly established prong. It's called the clearly established prong. This is when you sue a cop for violating your federal civil rights. The clearly established prong is the metric that the judges will use to determine whether or not the reasonable official would have understood that what he is doing violates that right. Well, okay then, Mr. statist judge who's working against me, that's a cop sucker, that's a Kevin or a Karen, Burroughs, Bartlett. There's a bunch of pig judges that I've had. Well, the way you go around that, reasonable official would have understood that what he's doing violates my rights. Whether the conduct analysis courts look to see whether it is beyond debate that existing legal precedent exists. It is beyond debate that existing legal precedent exists. The way you do that, the way that you say that there's no legal debate is you have the law on a piece of paper. Write it. You don't got to buy my product. I don't care. Copy it. I'll give it to you for free. I'll send it to you. Print it out yourself. But for the love of God, don't go to the dungeon. The process of going to the dungeon is so bad. It is so bad. Remember, at 18 years old, I got a minor consuming. Those pigs arrested me for walking 6 miles into town instead of driving my Jeep drunk. I walked into town from the senior party out of Foster's house. And as I was walking into town, those dirty jackboot thug pigs arrested me because they could. They put the torture cuffs on me so tight. My hands were turning blue. You don't want them to be able to put you in torture cuffs. You don't want it. You don't want it. Hopefully you guys understand. And so, you know, I very rarely do it, but for all you jackboot thug pig sucking haters, for all you jackboot pig sucking haters, for all y'all, there it is right there. There it is. My trifold has been correct since I made my very first version in 2021. My trifold has been correct. The trifold says the exact same thing that I put into it in 2021, says the exact same thing in 2024. Mary Jane odor alone does not provide probable cause to search a car. Cops may not use search a car solely because it smells like Mary Jane. Fact, any state that sells Mary Jane in any capacity means that the smell of Mary Jane alone does not justify a search or seizure. I have informed you of the holding and the current law. My rights are unequivocal. And then you can just throw in. And by the way, the 2024 case of Robinson versus Minnesota at the Minnesota State Supreme Court says the exact same thing. The exact same thing the Commonwealth versus Barr says of 2021. Now, if your car smells like Mary Jane and you're in the 35 states, or how many states is it? How many states is it? "24 states." So I guess I was, once again, I get a little wishful thinking in my head, I guess. 24 states, half of our country has legalized Mary Jane because half of our country dances with Mary Jane. Half. Put a 1 in the chat if you have a Trifold or you have a cop card in your wallet or Trifold on your visor. And if you do, if you put that 1 in the chat, now you can rest assured that no matter what you heard from dumb shit people on YouTube who also said that qualified immunity is the most important thing. Okay, it's not. But now you know that if your car does have a smell to it, that if you have the Fifth Amendment cop card and you can clearly and easily quickly show them number 5, cop states he smells Mary Jane, number 5 right there. Or if the cop comes up to you and you have your Trifold, you can have a lot of confidence and security in yourself that if you catch them on camera, they violated your rights and you can sue them and you try to get their peace officer certificate. Try to get that cop fired. Look at 11111. That's how many people have the Trifolds or the cop cards in their vehicle or in their wallet. The reason why there's a 1, OTVO, 1, 1, 1. I mean, look how many people. The reason why there's so many people who have, Michael Dolan has all of it. The reason why is because this is your line of defense. Your line of defense is no longer, why'd you pull me over? Right? Like that used to be the line of defense. Why'd you pull me over? Well, you didn't have a right to pull me over, right? That used to be the way it was. And now we know that this is how it is. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Oh, no. This is how we do it. You do it just like this, and you do it just like this, and you dominate that pig. Invoke your First, your Fourth, and your Fifth Amendment rights right away, and then take that pig down. Hopefully he violates your rights and you get his ass fired. That's what I hope. I can't stand these jackboot thug pigs. So I saw a video yesterday. I'll put this in here and I'll just freeze frame it for 1 second. This video came up yesterday. About this guy teaches, he plays piano in public places. Shock Professor, what's going on? Citizen Broadcast Cooperative. Chris, Brick Jones, what is going on? Gordon, what is going on? How are you? Good to see you, Shock Professor. Todd, Jacques, Kevin Gordon is here. What is going on? What is going on out there? April Rain is here. Good to see you. Sal Salar is here. What's going on? Bronco Nation family. Haven't seen you in a minute, my friend. What's going on? Felipe, how are you, my friend? What is going on? Dan Hanlon's in the room. Say that then. Ann is here. Good to see you. Ann Scott, so good to see you. Jonathan Jones is here. Mr. Bones is in the room. What's going on, Mr. Bones? Roy is here. Isabel is here. What is going on? So this video got sent to me. Avery Flowers is here. What's going on with Dr. Donna? Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Lazy Hayes is here. What is going on? Can someone type OTVO, overturn Terry versus Ohio, in the comment section? I see you, Travis. I see you, my brother. Old timer, what's going on? Brian, what is going on? Kevin, how you doing, my friend? April, Wyatt, Michael, what is going on? How is everybody? Houston Hot Dog is in the room. What's going on, Houston? Brandy, old timer, what is going on? Good to see everybody. Good to see it. America 1776 is here. Jim is here. All right. So let's keep going a little bit. We got a few more videos to cover here. This video got sent to me yesterday. And this video is actually out of the UK. And OTVO says, Avery Flowers, I'm with you all the way, my brother. Getting ready to win another world title for America in 2024. We're going to win the Olympics this year in wrestling, and we're going to win the worlds this year. do they have Worlds and Olympics in the same year, Avery? I'm not sure if we do, but we are the reigning world champions in wrestling. So we're going to win it again. Avery's a wrestler as well. So this video got sent to me, and I'm going to skip through a little bit of it because it's really irrelevant, but I want to show you the value of the First Amendment. I want to show you the value of having free speech. Where is Chevy? I don't know where Chevy is, Jim. Where's Chevy? Chevy! Jeff hates pigs. Chris Boudreau. What is going on, Chris Boudreau? Jeff hates pigs. Where's Jeff hates pigs? Jack Boot Thug Pig. I haven't seen him today. I saw KT. Toyota Tam is in the room. What's going on, Toyota Tom? How are you, Toyota Tom? I have not seen. Soy Leal is here. What is going on, Soil? Good to, Soy Leal. Soylent Green is made out of people. This got sent to me yesterday. We're going to skip through a little bit of it. And then I don't see Chevy. I don't see Chevy. I don't see Cope Dogged Dog. Where's Cope Dogged Dog? Liberty Blair is here. Nice to see you. Arista is here. Aristo is here. What is going on? So this got sent to me yesterday. That's what this. Okay. Do you see the guy here in the glasses? What this guy does is he's a world-class pianist. He's got 2.7 million subscribers. And what he does is he plays piano all over the place. He goes to malls. He goes to clubs, pubs, bars, studios, you name it. We maxed out on the like button. Everybody hit the like button. So what this guy does is he plays piano and he brings a lot of joy to people. He's one of the best pianists I've ever heard. His name is Brendan Kavanagh. Now, Brendan Kavanagh, he was in a mall in England and he was playing the piano. This is Brendan's, I don't know if it's his buddy or who it is, but.
Please my soul, Lord, I ain't never had so much trouble.
Today it was like -4, but somebody's put some purple balloons on the piano, so all is well. So hit the like button. I'll do a few songs for you, and just stay there because there's a lot of kind of surreptitious activity going on in the station. I might need your help. So stay there, hit the like button.
It's funny he said that because then there actually was. He has a cameraman who he brings with him. The cameraman follows him. And he's got a huge YouTube channel, 2.27 million subscribers. We got almost 500,000. He has 5 times more subscribers than we do here on DLZ. He goes around. I can click on here and show you that he has video after video after video of him playing piano all around the world. So now remember, he sets up at the mall. He's not getting paid. He's making money through his YouTube channel, but this is what he does for a living. He goes around playing the piano, impressing the hell out of people, entertaining people. He gets tips. I don't think he takes any tips on site. I didn't see any tips, but then he makes tons of money from YouTube. Take a look at this video. 6,767,000 views. This video made him a lot of money. A lot of money. 30 grand, maybe 40 grand. I don't know. I've never had a 6 million view video. Beautiful. Hit up Roy, y'all. Hit up Roy. Roy's giving away memberships. Hit up Roy. Who wants a free membership? He's giving away. Thank you, Roy. So this is what he does. I'm going to skip through this a little bit. Okay. So now there's some random guy. He sees him playing, hears him playing. He's like, I'm going to come join up. So good, right? They're so good. Thank you, Roy. This is going on. Then pretty soon, the guy who travels the country playing piano, he gives up his piano to the guy who came over to play.
On some lonesome railroad line.
Amazing, right?
Whoa, gonna let that midnight freight train
You see the cameraman with the mic slipping the camera in there, the microphone in there. So remember, this is this guy's whole shtick. This is the guy in the black and the trench coat. This is what he does for a living, for entertainment. This is his ikigai. This is what he does the best. This is what he loves the most. This is what people need the most. And this is how he can make the most money. That's called ikigai. If you look it up, it's called IKIGAI. I put it in the comment section. Look up the ikigai. You're about to find out how important free speech is and how important it is to be able to film in public spaces. It's about to go down. This is not his regular video. This does not end how he normally does it. He normally just plays piano. People gather around. He makes his money from YouTube, and then he goes to another location. Today, though, is something different. Today is here to teach you how important our First Amendment right to be able to film is. 20 seconds from Wapner. Wow, he is good. Wow. Yeah. 10 seconds. Watch this.
Oh yeah, of course. We've got the Chinese here.
She's going to walk up to him and tell him that he can't film her.
Chinese TV as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, did you film us, all of us in your cameras?
I don't know. Are we allowed?
No,
We're not allowed.
yeah. So
We're not allowed.
You're not allowed because we're for Chinese TV.
Oh, okay.
This is non-disclosable.
It's not disco.
Yeah, not
It's not.
disclosable.
It's no disco.
It's not disclosable.
It's not disposable.
Yeah.
She's saying you can't film us. It's not disclosable. See the woman standing here and the kind of, she's got like a painted on face. She's got a purse, the woman right here. She doesn't want to be on camera. So she's standing in front of the camera. This reminds me of the, who's that guy who does all the Amagansett press?
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So did you film the part that
throw
we're
you out.
in?
So will we get in trouble with the Chinese government?
Maybe not. I don't know. But you said you found Japanese.
No, they'll put you in prison, mate.
So just say that according to the Chinese law, we're not allowed to film you. Is that right?
So
That's interesting.
basically,
Yes.
we will much appreciate it when you are, whatever you're doing, that
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't put our face on
Yes,
TV.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what will happen if
Just don't do it, please. I will really appreciate that.
Okay.
We just very
Yeah.
sensitive about this issue. I'm
Yeah.
really sorry,
I'm
but we
very
love
sorry.
your music.
Yeah,
we
we
will
love
want to
your
stay here
music.
for a lot longer.
I mean, the only
Yeah.
thing is, it's just like there's other people filming as well.
That's absolutely fine. That's the other people's business. They can make their own decisions.
so.
That's absolutely
So
fine.
how come there? It's the only issue
It's
I've
just
got.
not us, please. Just not us.
No, but
please.
what I'm saying is there's other people filming you as well.
Oh no! It's just make sure that we are very secure in the reason that we don't want our voice or picture being filmed, and then
As you stand next to the microphone talking, you don't want your voice or your picture as you stand next to the camera.
yeah, that's just the relationship between you and me, you and us, basically.
What relationship?
Just now,
He doesn't know them. They're just tourists in the mall. He doesn't know them at all. They have no relationship.
we are very. So I'm gonna repeat that.
Yeah.
All of us, we cannot share our images online.
Right.
Yeah, there's no
Because-
reason.
why?
That's our choice. That's our right.
Oh, so it's not a legal thing.
It is a legal thing because this is our right. We're protecting, and we don't want our voice or images to
Okay.
be revealed online. I'm really appreciating it. This is not your fault, obviously,
Yeah.
and this is not our fault, obviously.
But
That
what-
we have our own agreement with other people that we cannot be shown online.
Okay.
Yeah, so sorry about this.
So who's allowed to record you then?
Just making sure you're not recording us, yeah. Because if you are recording us, that when we are saying this, you're still recording, and then we will put a legal action into it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we will put a legal action
Really?
into it.
For what?
We will.
Legal
And
action?
I'm sorry, this is the end of the conversation. This is our right we're protecting, and that's it.
But what?
What did he just say? What did he just say?
Bill,
Legal
I'm
action-
sorry, this is the end of the conversation.
What? This is the end of the conversation? You don't get to film us and we're going to tell you that's how it is? That's it. We're done talking.
This is all right we're protecting, and that's it.
But what right? I don't understand.
Image right.
Image right?
Yeah, we're not sharing
They have an image right in public.
this
Are
image
you
right.
from China?
That's not a question. The only thing
They're carrying Chinese flags.
we are arguing is that
Yeah.
we are protecting our own image rights. You're not sharing.
But this
There's no such thing as image rights in public.
in public,
Yeah, exactly. No sharing.
so we're not allowed
No
to share.
sharing. Yes, no sharing us. Share it yourself. That's fine. No sharing us.
Okay.
No
And
sharing.
what-
Please share me.
Oh,
Yes.
share, yeah.
And if one
But
day,
you see,
like,
the thing is, we're in a
I'm
free,
really sorry, we're on a schedule
But
here.
so
That-
me too, but we're in a free country, mate.
That's true.
We're
You are
not
in
in
a free
communist
country.
China now, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is racist now. We have to
No.
It's racist because he said it's communist China. Let me tell you something. I've been on the record here. We have to set up blocks. Your block should have a central commander, and you should have 4 blocks that have a central commander. We should be creating blocks of people who form mini militias all over this country in case the Chinese paratroop in to our country, and for other reasons. But the main reason is to be ready in case of a Chinese invasion. Right? That's how we form militias by each block, because we're forming militias so that they can't just come parachuting in and we don't have a centralized block idea for everybody on that block.
We're not in communist China. We're in a
No,
free
no, no,
country.
leave it out. Just leave it out,
So,
This is-
we're in a free country, mate. We can film where we want. You can call the police if you want. I'll be quite happy to call the police, you know. But listen, we're all free here, mate.
This is free, but we don't want
When
to
you're
share
in Rome, you
images.
do as the Romans do. Sorry.
You're Roman.
Yeah, it's a saying.
Sorry. Sorry. We don't want to. Yeah.
You
Sorry.
don't want to do what?
Yeah,
To share our image.
To share our image.
Well, then you've got to
online.
walk. You've got to walk away then, because it's a public place.
Yeah, definitely. So I tell you, I just tell my choice. Yeah, we don't want to show our image.
Okay, well you've
Yeah.
got to walk away then.
So yeah. Then, but we want to use this piano. This is a public one.
Yeah,
It's a public
it's public,
one.
but you
We can use it as well. Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Right, but then you can also be filmed if you're in the public space as well.
Yes, and anyone can film because in the UK it's a free country,
That's
and
your,
anyone
but
can
we
film.
have image right. We have
Not in
image.
public, in
No,
China,
no,
but we're not in
no,
China.
No, I have my choice. I don't
No,
want
but
my.
we are in Britain, Great Britain. We're not in
I
China.
say I'm also British. I'm also British. Okay.
thought
I'm
you
also
said
British. I'm also British, but I don't want
But
to
you
use
got-
my image.
Oh, right here, you see him reach out and touch the flag. Do you see this right here? That is going to escalate this. He's going to reach out and say, but isn't this a communist flag? And when he touches the flag, it's going to go nuclear.
I'm also British. Okay.
thought
I'm
you
also
said you-
British. I'm also British, but I don't want
But
to
you've
use
got-
my
You've
image.
got a Chinese flag there.
It doesn't matter.
Show me the Chinese flag.
Why you're touching her? Stop touching her! Don't touch her, please. Do not touch her. Please, you are not the same age. Please do not touch her. Don't touch her. Please don't touch her. Please don't.
shoot it.
Yeah, don't touch her.
Don't
Don't touch
I
her.
think
What's
it's
the
better
problem?
to
What's the
defuse
problem?
it.
Don't shoot
I'm
it.
quite
Don't
enjoying
shoot it.
Please don't touch her. Please don't touch her.
Let's just defuse
Please
the
don't touch her.
situation.
Please, stop!
You've got a Chinese flag
It
there.
doesn't matter.
Show me the Chinese flag.
Why you're touching her? Stop touching her! Don't touch her, please. Do not touch her. Please, you are not the same age. Please do not touch her. Don't touch her. Please don't touch her. Please don't.
Don't shoot it.
Yeah, don't touch
shoot
her.
it.
Don't
shoot
touch
it.
her.
I think it's
What's the
better.
problem?
What does you are not the same age mean? I don't know what that means. How touching someone is battery if you're actually touching someone. Touching their flag is not battery. And I don't know what him having to be the same age has to do with him touching a flag.
What's the
Defuse it.
problem?
No,
Don't
it's all right.
shoot it. Don't shoot it.
Please don't touch her. Please don't touch her.
Let's just defuse
Please
the
don't touch her.
situation.
Yeah, listen,
No,
mate,
we
listen.
love your art, we love your
No, you don't. You
music,
just
but we are
shouted at
trying
me.
to have
You
because
need
you're
to-
touching my friend.
I
Are
touched
you
her.
allowing her to
No,
touch
no,
you?
no.
I
No,
touched the flag.
no,
I
no.
touched the flag.
Doesn't
mate.
matter. You are
And
approaching
also,
her with
you're
your hand.
You're getting a bit aggressive.
I
You
think-
got
No,
I
no.
think we better leave this.
Listen, mate. Yeah, you bet.
I'm sorry, you
I
can't
want-
touch her.
well,
Please
you
don't touch
can't
her.
touch me.
Please don't touch her. Please don't touch her.
Oh, do you wanna
Please
say-
don't reach your hand. Please say sorry to her.
Well, I want you to
Please say sorry to her.
No, we're not in
Oh,
China,
that's
mate.
fine. We're not talking about race. This is not a racist issue. Please,
A ra-
in China.
You
this is
need
the
it.
moment that you're trying to reach her hand, touch her without
I'm
her
not trying to touch.
permission.
I don't want to.
Look at this. This is why everything's on camera, y'all. This is why I have listening devices. This is why I have cameras in all my cars. This is why I always record cops. You have to be filming everything.
Touch him at all.
That's good. Stay away.
Wait till the cops get there. Wait, what the cop tries to entrap him. Watch.
Don't touch her.
Well,
Don't touch her.
Away
Stay
you
away.
go. We're in a
Stay
free
away.
country now, mate.
Stay away.
You're
Don't
not
touch her.
obviously
Don't
used to
touch her.
democracy.
Do not touch her. Do not touch her.
I'm not touching
Do not
anyone.
touch her. Do not touch her.
I don't know why
Do
you
not
get...
touch her. Do not touch
Do you
her.
want to keep
Do
saying
not
that?
touch her. Do not touch her.
I'm
Are you
not touching
miming me? Are you miming me?
Yeah, I am.
You're miming me.
I am, yeah.
You're miming me.
Yeah, I
You're
am.
miming me.
I am you. What are you going to do about it?
Wait for it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it.
What's her name?
What's my name?
Yeah.
What's your name?
What's her name? Are you trying to answer or not? Do you want to answer? If you don't want to answer, that's your right.
What's
You
your
don't
name?
want to answer.
Is it my
His
right?
name
Are you
is
gonna tell me my
Brendan
right?
Kavanaugh.
I'm not telling you anything. I just want you to not reach your hand to my friend.
And
don't
I
touch
don't want
your
you to
friend.
shout, mate.
No,
I'm
that's
shouting.
fine. If you don't reach your hand, that's fine.
I'm not. Are you going to apologise? Are you in the Communist Party or something?
Stop judging. Stop judging. Why are you calling us communists? Why?
Because you've got a communist flag
We
in your
got the
hand.
flag of any country. Why are you discriminating a different country?
I'm not
Why are you
discriminating.
discriminating a different country?
Why are you getting excited?
Because
You're
you're
getting your knickers
discriminating
in-
another country.
How am I discriminating?
Yeah, you're saying
playing
we're
the
communists
race
for
card, mate.
holding a flag.
Yeah, because you've got a communist flag in your hand.
Oh my God.
Is that not? Is that?
Please educate yourself. All
So
right,
that's
please
not a
educate yourself.
So that's not a communist.
He does have a communist China flag in his hand, doesn't he? China is a communist country, isn't it? They don't have image rights in a public place in Great Britain, do they? No. So everything these Chinese people are saying is communist. That you don't get to film me because I have my image rights in a public place. That's not how it is here, bro.
Country is different from the political agenda. That is not the same
Is that a
matter.
communist flag?
That's
Yes
not
or
the
no?
same- that's
So
not
it's
the same
not.
thing. Yeah, because this is a reason that he's being racist and calling us communists and all that thing. And he was trying to reach his hand to my friend. We can't protect ourselves. We have to protect ourselves. We need him to apologize for my friend.
It's great. It's great. It's a great TV.
Why? So he's done something wrong, and I can't.
No. We have rights. We don't want to camera us. Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
What can you say? So why not? It's our choice. It's
No,
our
but she's
choice.
saying we're
It's
not
our
allowed-
right. It's our right.
He was here already. Get that camera out, my friend. Look.
No, it's all right. We're just getting them, mate. It's
So
all right,
the
we're getting
original issue is that we were appreciating the music. We're appreciating the music, and
So remember, this guy was playing like a ninja warrior. We're at 16:30 right here, but just remember, before at 16:30, at 6:45, he had a bunch of people standing around watching and enjoying what he was doing. Everybody was listening. Everybody was having a good time listening to this guy play. I mean, how much fun is it to listen to this?
that we were appreciating the music. We're appreciating the music, and they were filming us, and we're nicely coming here saying, "Please don't film us. Don't use the image." That's all we're trying to say. That's all we're trying to say.
It's such a shame because you were playing the best piano.
Yeah, we love the music too.
Well,
We love the music, but we don't want to.
anyway, look,
Yeah.
all I said was you've got a communist flag. You're telling me what to do. We're in Britain now.
We are not telling you to do. We
Yes,
say
you
we
did.
please
And
don't
you-
use our images.
You asked me to apologize.
Yes, because she was trying to touch my
Oh,
friend.
yeah,
Touch the
we
flag.
just want to celebrate New Year. It's our choice. It's our right.
If I'm reaching my hand to your friend, if I'm reaching my hand to your friend,
I tell you my right.
I'm trying to touch your friend. Will you allow it to happen?
Do you think I'm trying to touch your friend?
Come on, look at his stuff. Does he look very
Listen, don't like it. Fuck off.
You
And then he just
now say like this way. You now say like this way.
and then he just goes right to it. This guy says, if you don't like it, you can F off.
Come on, look at his stuff. Does he look very
Listen, don't like it. Fuck off.
If you don't like it, fuck off.
You can now say like this way. You can now say like this way. You can now say like this way.
Yeah, we can. Here comes the pigs. Here comes the pigs. Here's where you're going to see some real similarities. Here's where you're going to see some real similarities between America and Great Britain. This is where you're going to see it. Pay very close attention to what this pig tries to do. So an allegation there is like being charged here. So listen to what this pig does. She tries to rope-a-dope him.
Who are you? Who are you? Why you say like this way? Who are you? Who are you?
So basically, they were filming, and we say, "We're nice to be approaching." So please use our image. Is that right? I know. But
Yeah, he says, but you're in a public place. Automatically, common sense sets in to the dumb pig. But remember, this pig over here is going to try to cheat him.
walking around with safety.
Excuse me. If we're having a police matter, you need to put that phone down.
If we're having a police matter, you need to put the camera down.
Excuse me. If we're having a police matter, you need to put that phone down.
No, we're in public because I'm going to record this.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We're in public. I'm going to record this for evidence. She says, do not live stream this on your channel, though. This guy plays piano so much around Great Britain, everybody knows who he is. Listen, wherever I go, people recognize me, and I have 1/5 of the subscribers this guy does.
Free speech, actually. Well, there we go. So we've got a few people from China telling us that we're not allowed to film. Listen.
I'm so sorry.
You know, you see what happens there when someone is in duress. Step up for them. You don't have to be 6'6" like this guy. You only have to have a camera and your voice. Hey, leave him alone. Leave him alone. Stop harassing him. That would have had the exact same effect as you being 6'6", like this guy was. This makes people weary. This makes people back up. This makes people alter their behavior. You pull your camera out and you put it right in their face. Don't let someone get bullied in front of you if you have a camera in your pocket. This is the game changer right here. This is the invention of the modern era. Nothing more powerful in the world than this phone right here. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? Help people. Don't let this guy get jumped by these obvious communists.
I know even more. I was like, let's all celebrate the end of that piece before we could even clap for you.
Aw. He was saying they wanted to celebrate the end of the piece and clap for him, and then these Chinese people started harassing him. And there's nothing wrong with Chinese people in general. I'm not saying that. Don't. This isn't a hate Asian thing here. If I could, I don't know how to say that without sounding. I had an Asian girlfriend for 7 years. So, I have no problem with Asians at all whatsoever. That's the best way to say that.
Oh, sorry.
Just for fucking necking. That's
Sorry,
my
I
mate
didn't
Ramin.
mean-
That's
sorry.
no, that's my mate Ramin.
Sorry,
No, she's
sorry.
recording your president.
I
This is
thought
recording
to get
your
a camera out,
president.
mate. Well, yeah, well, that's no way to get rid of it.
You do enjoy a scrap, don't you?
Listen, mate, so we got the police over here. We got the Chinese Communist Party who told us not to film, and that's basically what it is. And the guy started shouting. So anyway, they got the police here. Actually, the police said, "Is anyone actually watching this?"
Yeah, they've got
Oh, yeah.
788
Yeah.
people.
So hold on, we got the police here. We've got the Chinese Communist Party, and let's see what's going on. I think this is.
They'll do anything to make a program.
No, they came over. They came over, Jim. They came over and said, you're not allowed to film us. We're in a public space, in a public piano, and they said, you're not allowed to film. And they were waving Communist Party flags. And I said, oh, that's a communist flag. And they said, oh, that's racist. So what can you do? And then we've got the police here. We've got Kerry and them, and they're filming our whatever. So stay there. We'll see what happens. You're coming to the live drama at the piano. This is Dr. K versus the Communist Party. And let's see what's going on. Dear, oh dear. So basically, I think they're being told that in England, you're allowed to film in public, right? That we're not in China, you're allowed to film in public. And they're basically getting their knickers in a twist because we filmed them at the public piano. Basically, that's what's going on. And now we've got the police and they've all got their communist flags waving it. So there we go. Let's just go over and see what's going on. Let's just have a look. They'll probably start shouting. Yeah.
Come and talk to me.
I'll talk to you. I'll
Please
talk to you,
come
Kerry.
and talk to me.
I'll talk to you, Kerry, at the piano now.
Yeah, but you-
No. 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 Cops come up to me and say, come over here. I want to talk to you. I pull my Fifth Amendment cop card out of my wallet and I look at number 1 and it says cop cited. So I start filming and I say, I invoke my First Amendment right. Number 2, cop says he wants to talk to me. He says any words at all. I say, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. It's right there. Number 2, I saw the cop. I started filming. Number 2, cop walks up and says, hey, let me talk to you. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right. I identify as a good citizen. That's the difference between Great Britain and America is you can invoke your rights, invoke your privileges. And here he has to agree to talk to her.
come and talk to me.
I'll talk to you.
No, we don't do that. But he has to kowtow.
I'll talk to you, Kerry. I'll talk to you, Kerry, at the piano now.
Yeah, but you-
I'll talk
Now I do respect his fervor here. And I'm not hacking him. I'm saying the difference between Great Britain and America is we have a Fifth Amendment right to not talk to these pigs. So don't do it.
No, this is not to go on your channel, my love.
Well-
This is me talking to you.
This is not to go on your channel, my love, because she doesn't want to. Well, honey, now almost 7 million people down here have seen you say, "Don't put this on my. Don't do this."
Listen, Kerry, we're in a public space.
He knows her by first name. Her name's Carrie.
Let me just have a conversation without with this doing in my face. Please.
Kerry, if you're recording me,
Listen,
we're recording all
listen,
the
this is
time.
this is going on your YouTube channel.
Is-
But I need to speak to you without this being on your YouTube channel.
Well, what about
please.
what? We're in a public space.
Listen, can I just have a conversation with you, please? Without your friend video.
No, because the camera never lies.
Boom, boom.
Sure, please. Without your friend video.
No, because the camera never lies.
There it is, right there. Let me play it one more time for you, and the importance of filming all the time.
Have a conversation with you, please. Without your friend video.
No, because the camera never lies.
Listen, I've got my camera on
Okay,
and
so
we're
I've
just
got my
having a
camera on. Let's
conversation.
have a conversation.
Yeah, you got your camera on, but we might not get that footage, or you might edit it, or change the sound on it, or knock out the volume.
This is going on your YouTube channel and I don't want it to go on your YouTube
Well, don't
channel.
talk to me
Well, too bad. Then walk off.
then, Kerry.
Listen.
She's at Kerry. We're in Britain.
Right.
We're in a public space. We've got a free country.
The first of the matter is that you're
I'm not
shouting
making-
communist comments at them.
No.
The issue is you're shouting communist comments at them. There's the difference between free speech and no free speech. I can call you a communist all day, twice on Sunday. Remember, the 1942 case of Chaplinsky versus the United States, which creates the fighting words, is based on calling someone a damned fascist.
I said you're waving a communist flag. That's what I said.
And the hands were meant to be going towards her. Were you trying to touch her in
I
that
was
regard?
not trying to touch it. That's why I have a camera. Right?
Right, okay.
That's why I have a camera.
They've requested that the video where they've approached gets deleted and not used on your channel.
No, they
Because
don't have
there's
that
money
right.
being made and they work for a company that their faces can't be shown on
Well, they
TV on
shouldn't be in,
somebody's
if
channel.
that's you're not there for
They were going to
Listen to what this pig says.
waving a communist flag. That's what I said.
Now listen to what she says here.
and the hands were meant to be going towards her. Were you trying to?
The hand was meant to be going towards her. What? You can't point your hand in someone's direction or touch a flag?
Put you in
I
that
was
regard?
not trying to touch it. That's why I have a camera.
That's why I have a camera.
Right?
Right, okay.
That's why I have a camera.
They've requested that the
They've requested, so the cops working for them,
video where they've approached gets
the video where they approached,
deleted and not used on your
that you delete it and you don't use it.
channel.
No, they don't
Because
have
there's
that
money
right.
being made and they work
Because there's money being made
for a company that their
and they work for a company
faces can't be shown on
that their faces can't be shown.
Well, they
Yeah,
shouldn't be.
somebody's
If
channel.
that's you're not their private security agent.
I'm not their private security
Okay.
agent.
And we're in a free country. We're in a free space. We're not causing trouble. The problem is not from us, Kerry. The problem is they are coming over, telling us what to do, and playing the piano. Now, fair is fair, but you are not their private security guards.
I never
And
said I
like-
was.
Yeah, Huckleberry though, but it's not a crime to touch somebody else's property in a public place. It's a crime if you cause damages to the public property. And he didn't do that.
And I'm
So-
having a conversation with you.
And we're in a free space, in a free country. I'm not causing any trouble.
There's an allegation being made and that's why
There's an allegation. Now, that is similar to charges in America. She's charging you with assault. Allegation in Great Britain is the same as charges in the United States. And watch how Brendan replies to this when she says, oh, there's allegations.
In a free country, I'm not causing any trouble.
There's an allegation being made, and that's why.
What's the allegation? Now, you told me to stop filming, and now you say there's an allegation. The camera never lies.
The allegation.
That's why I filmed. You told me to turn off my camera, and now you're saying I've got an allegation. What's the allegation?
The reason why I'm asking.
So just change allegation to charge. You were telling me a moment ago to turn off my camera. Now you're telling me there's a charge against me? You're saying someone's charging me with something? Allegation, charge, same thing.
Filming, and now you say there's an allegation. The camera never lies.
The allegation.
That's why I filmed. You told me to turn off my camera, and now you're saying I've got an allegation. What's the allegation?
The reason why I'm asking you not to film it is because I know that you are putting this on your YouTube.
Doesn't matter where it goes. We're in a free country. Sorry, we're in a democracy. We're not in China, and that's not racist. That's the truth. That's what our forefathers fought for.
Exactly, but you can't say things like that. How do you just say things like
what?
that?
You can't. Did you just hear what she just said? Did you just hear what she just said?
Exactly, but you can't say things like that. How do you just say things like that?
What are you talking about? You can't say things like that. Go yourself, you dirty Jax. I will take your right. And that's me censoring myself. Imagine if I said, you are itch, right? I could say whatever I want. I could say whatever I want. I'm free. I'm in America. I can say whatever I want. You don't get to okay. So this triggered me, man. I got to calm down for a second. So listen, don't let the government tell you what words you can use. On my Instagram, for my pronouns, I have him, he, because I have trans people in my family. I don't agree with it. You're not a boy because you want to be. You're not a girl because you want to be. I don't agree with it. And the system they set up is wrong. Can't say a woman is a man and a man is a woman. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And that's as far as I will allow my speech to be in any way, shape, or form altered. I hold space for my trans person in my family by stating my pronouns are he or him, so that person in my family feels like their family member loves them, and I do. However, I will not be compelled to which speech I can and cannot use. And the moment someone starts telling you, you can't say fuck, shit, damn, goddamn, trans, whatever you want to say, you could say it. The idea that your speech, and I am woke. I'm woke AF. I know the laws were created for blacks. I know cops target blacks. I'm woke. You mean I'm woke and I've seen the truth that the government is not your friend? Don't allow anybody to contort your speech. Don't allow them to tell you what words you can say. You say whatever words you want to say.
Free country.
No, but we're not in China.
Well, we're not. Well, they came. Listen, Kerry, if I was over in China and I started laying the law down to Chinese people at the piano, telling them what they cannot do you think that's appropriate? They came over here, the guy started shouting at me, and he said, you're not allowed to film, you're not allowed. And I said, sorry, we're in Britain, I'm allowed to play. And I said, you're waving a communist flag. And then he said, you're racist. So if I've done anything wrong, tell me. We're in a this is a free speech issue. I'm sorry. This is a free speech issue. I'm not causing any trouble. They are the ones making a fuss. And they shouldn't get the police as their private security. I think it's a disgrace.
Nobody said that, have they? You said that.
And on top of that, Kerry, you told me to stop filming, and then you said there's an allegation. Now, if I didn't have my camera, how would I prove my innocence? You know what? I know they are causing the fuss. I am not causing the fuss. I'm just standing up for myself, right?
There's a fuss being caused, and I've come up to deal with it.
Oh, no, listen, Kerry.
Listen, you can't say that.
What? They're from China.
Why can't you say that? It is a communist Chinese flag. Why can't you say it? China is a communist country. Why can't you say it?
They didn't come from China. Yeah, they thought a communist. Well, can I just say they're from China without the F? Sorry for the F word.
But you know exactly what you
listen, they are waving a communist flag, and I said you're waving a communist flag. Is that racist to say they've got a communist flag? Look. I've got nothing. Listen, I'm just playing at the piano. They stood by the piano. I was filming, and then they started laying down the law. That's why the police get because it's not your job. You should listen. You should tell them.
I'm not telling them anything that you're telling me to tell them. Okay.
Oh, but you're telling him what they said to tell him, that they want him to delete his video. You're doing the bidding and saying that he can't say those words. You are the communist as well. You are the enemy. You are the jackboot thug pig. You're trying to limit this man's freedom, and that's the reason I'm showing this video. Our First Amendment allows us to free speech, allows us to film in public spaces. Our First Amendment recognizes our rights that are God-given at birth.
I'll play your piano. I'll have a discussion with them.
Tell them we're in a free country. There we go. We're in a free country. Is anyone watching this? Do you see, we've got the communists here telling me not to do. I'm just going to play some boogie woogie. Is Matty England there? Matty, we need you down at the station. Look at, show them the police over there. Look at
that. Look at that. For words. For words.
Show them the police over there. Look.
And they're over there saying he called us China communists. Over words. That's what he's saying. You called us Chinese communists. That's what the whole thing's about. That they were filmed in public and then he called them communist.
Yeah. They're saying, I've just been speaking to the tuner guy who came to repair it, and he said one of the problems is, people like you bash it so hard.
I play very gentle. Listen.
They're playing. Oh, that's the stuff. Play like that. We've got that.
How could you have any problem with this guy? How could you have any problem with him? What a beautiful soul.
Stay there, everyone. We'll see what happens. We'll probably have the flying squad here next. So what's the drama at the piano today? Hit that right button.
For our sakes, don't bash it too hard. It's got to keep going for a couple of weeks.
God bless.
So beautiful, right? I mean, so beautiful. You gotta really. So I saw this come up, and I wanted to show this. So, I want people to understand the importance of free speech. I want people to understand how important it is that we stand on our rights, that we fight for our rights, that we never back down from anybody trying to invade, infringe, diminish, chill, any way, shape, or form that they may try to diminish your liberties. Do not let them do it. That's for the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Third Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth, for all of them. All of them. The only one that I would like to walk back is the 11th Amendment. I think that states should be held accountable in federal court. And so the 11th Amendment was to supersede the 1893 case of Chisholm versus Georgia. And I think the 11th Amendment is a real problem because it gives the Fed a lot of power over states, but at the same time, often the state is almost impossible to bring to accountability. So, I'm just keeping it real with you. This is just my own personal insights on the Constitution and what we've experienced.
Look at this.
Now, I'm only showing this. I'm not picking a side here on this war going on in the Middle East. But what I am showing you here is I'm going to show you how the cops are attacking people in the streets. And that to me is despicable. You know, I don't agree with the war going on in the Middle East. Yeah, well, the 17th. So the 17th is what. So I've had a long debate with Man of Justice 007. He's got a big channel on TikTok. And the 17th Amendment was what made senators electable. And so, Dr. Donna, we can do an entire show about that. I mean, we can sit and talk about it forever and ever and ever. But right now, let's focus on police abuse for 1 second.
Holy shit. Look at this.
So they're having a protest over the war going on in the Middle East. And so it looks like they've set up shields to try to... Not really sure what's going on here. And the cop grabs the guy with the shield and just starts to beat him.
Holy shit.
Why do cops just get to attack people like that? And why do they just get to attack people? I don't really understand why cops just get to attack us. Why they get to just start throwing punches. I would love to understand that. Why is that? Why is it? I just don't really understand how that's a thing, how cops get to attack us in the streets and then we don't get to do anything about it. It really bugs me.
Holy fuck. Show.
Yeah, it's a total scene. Cops are attacking people in the streets. It's absolutely horrible.
Look at this.
It's never ending. So this one here, if you guys are unfamiliar, this is where see that he threw a water cooler at him. The guy was riding what is the officials, the authority has determined is an illegal street bike. And so the NYPD sergeant threw a 40-pound cooler, striking at him as he was riding on a motorcycle. He fell off, cracked his head open, and he died. He hit him with the cooler. See how fast the guy's going? You can see the death if you really look. It's right over here where my cursor is. The guy's trucking along. He's going pretty fast. He's probably doing 10 or 11 miles until 12 miles an hour. And he smashes him in the head with the cooler, and that kills him. Right there. He smashed him in the head with the cooler. Oh. Horrible. You see that? They knew right away he was dead. You see that? They go to grab the guy to torture him, to put him in torture cuffs.
NYPD police sergeant was indicted.
Did you see how quickly they backed away from the guy who was just obviously dead as a doornail? You see that? You see how quickly they backed up? They go to drag him out and they see his face and he's dead. Oh, back up. Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah. You murdered him, pig. He's dead as a doornail right there.
NYPD police sergeant was indicted and arrested today on manslaughter charges after authorities say video shows him throwing a cooler at the head of a 30-year-old man, causing him to die.
The family of Eric Dupree and local activists walk arm in arm outside Bronx criminal court today as tense moments unfolded. The emotions from the community and family come exactly 5 months after Dupree was killed when NYPD Sergeant Eric Duran threw a picnic cooler at his head.
What human being in their right mind who doesn't intend to seriously injure or kill someone picks up a 40-pound cooler with both hands and slams it into a person's skull.
The 37-year-old police sergeant had dozens of officers in court supporting.
See, they're a gang. Do you see that? It's a gang. And the only way that you have any way to protect yourself against an organized gang is if you are organized. The only way that a militia will properly work in this country is if we start to form militias block by block. And militias are meant to protect the sovereignty of American citizens. Each and every block in our country should have a militia leader. Every 4 blocks should have a militia leader. Every 8 blocks should have a militia leader. Every 16 blocks should have a militia leader. And the reason is because our government has organized. See that? All of them will back up each other to the death. They'll shoot you. They'll kill you. They'll murder you. All of them are in a gang. You're allowed to form a militia. Form a militia in your neighborhood. Form a militia on your block. Coordinate with the other 10 houses on your block. Start to form militias block by block in our country. Start to organize. It's coming. You can see it. It's coming. If China invades us with paratroopers, if your block doesn't have a militia leader for the 1 block, for the 4 blocks, for the 8 blocks, for the 16 blocks, for the 32 blocks, then what will happen is when the Chinese come parachuting down into our city, then you're not going to be prepared. Or if something else happens on your block and they send in a bunch of people, you have to be a well-regulated militia. It's constitutional. You're allowed to do it. Look at the gang that the government has formed against us. Look at the gang. What's wrong with having a militia? It's in the Constitution. A well-regulated militia. Why don't you have one on your city block? Why haven't you reached out to your neighbors and said, we should really form a militia in case another country invades us or in case our government goes too tyrannical? We should have that. Why don't we have that? We should all have it. Look at the gang. Put a 1 in the chat if that's a gang. Look at their gang. A government-sanctioned, funded gang. That's what they are. We should all have militias on every block. Every block. Every American should be armed. The day's going to come where we have to make sure that we protect our sovereignty, we protect our freedom. It's going to come. Whether that be from China dropping down 1 million troops from the air, or whether or not some random group of people decide to invade you and invade your rights. Remember, if they try to strip away our Second Amendment, you're going to have militias formed. There's nothing wrong with that. Believe me, I'm not trying to overthrow the government. I'm not trying to take on the military or the cops. I'm not trying to take on anybody. What I'm trying to do is form militias on every block in our country so that we have a group that we can rely on locally if things go tyrannical or if we're invaded by another country. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. Is Chevy in here now? I saw Chevy's name. Chevy! What's up, Playboy? What's up, Playboy?
Him as he was arraigned on manslaughter, criminally negligent homicide, and assault charges today.
Eric Dupree is dead because of Eric Dupree's actions.
No. Eric Dupree is dead because this pig right here threw a water cooler into him. This pig right here. This guy right here. This pig right here murdered Eric Dupree.
Manslaughter, criminally negligent homicide, and assault charges today.
There's the murderous pig.
Eric Dupree is dead because of Eric Dupree's actions. It's unequivocally clear watching the video that Eric Dupree was driving a motorcycle on the sidewalk of Crowded Street in the Bronx with children playing soccer.
Oh, there's the children again. There's the children. What a bullshit scam.
Right next to him.
While the defense says Dupree was...
Okay, so we're at 1 minute and 29 seconds here. Where's the children? Where are the children? There's a park right there. Where are the kids playing? Where are the kids that are in danger? Let me see. Where's the kids? Looks like pigs on the sidewalk right here to me. I don't see any kids anywhere. There's a park there, but there's no kids. He kills them there. I don't see any kid on the sidewalk. There's no one even not adults or kids. There's not adults or kids. So who is he putting in danger? Watch the cop's reaction. Oh shit, he's dead. He's dead. Oh shit. Right. Jackboot thug pigs.
While the defense says Dupree was
driving a motorcycle.
Let's listen to the lie again. It's for the kids.
On the sidewalk of crowded street in the Bronx, with children playing soccer on the grass right next to him.
While the defense says Dupree was responsible for his own death, prosecutors say Duran should have known better.
The defendant was aware of these risks.
He said Dupree was responsible for his own death? Is that what the state-run media reporter just said? Did she just say?
Crowded street in the Bronx, with children playing
There were no children lying, jackboot thug pig sucker.
soccer on the grass right next to him.
While the
There was no children on the grass. Stop it. There were no, he just lied in court.
Children playing soccer on the grass right next to him.
He literally said children playing soccer on the grass right next to him. Where are the kids playing soccer? Where are the kids playing soccer? Man, is he going to get in trouble for lying?
Prosecutors say Duran should have known better.
The defendant was aware of these risks and disregarded them in an act that at best shows supreme recklessness and at worst was an intentional act of violence.
Surveillance video from August 23rd.
Crowded street in the Bronx, with children playing soccer on the grass right next to him.
While the defense says Dupree was responsible for his own death.
So the defense of the pig saying he killed himself by me killing him.
Prosecutors say Duran should have known better.
The defendant was aware of these risks and disregarded them in an act that at best shows supreme recklessness and at worst was an intentional act of violence.
Surveillance video from August 23rd show his death unfold in real time in Kingsbridge Heights. The AG's office said officers were attempting to arrest Dupree during an undercover drug purchase when he fled on his motorbike. The graphic video shows Duran, an undercover cop for the NYPD narcotics unit, forcefully throw a picnic cooler at Dupree's head. That's when he swerves onto the road, slides under a vehicle after he was hit. Dupree was pronounced dead at the scene.
The AG's office, who had the courage to do this, took the first step, but we need to see this through.
Duran pled not guilty today, and his bail was set at $150,000. If convicted, he could face up to 25 years in prison, and he's scheduled to be back here in court on April 18th. We're live outside Bronx Criminal Court. I'm Shosh Bedrosian, CBS 2 News.
The Fraternal Order of Police will pay for that. They'll fund it. They'll get him out. There was no kids playing soccer in a park. They just made that up. There wasn't one single bit of that true. They made up that there was kids. So he murders him with no danger. There's no danger in front. There's no danger behind. There's nobody in the way at all whatsoever. It just is not true. He's just absolutely lying. He's making things up as he goes. It's an absolute lie. I just cannot believe that we can see a video today and then you can say, oh yeah, it has to do with the fact that he killed himself. He murdered himself. That's what they're saying. Do you believe that? Put a 1 in the chat if that's an absolute lie. An absolute lie. Oh, I see. I see. That was just the next story in the stream. I just scrolled down. So, yeah, I mean, it's war is hell. And we're seeing it that if you go to war, that it's absolutely. Wow. It's just never ending. The cops are literally against us in every single way. Check this out. I'll read this to you. Texas officer accused of ordering canine to attack unarmed man during traffic stop. What have I told you guys? How many times have I told you? Canine cops are sick, sadistic pigs. The canine has to be banned from cops. We can't trust them. Texas police officer accused of ordering canine to attack an unarmed man during a traffic stop. Derek Dunlap, 54, seeking $1 million in damage from Denison pig Tyler Buchanan. He claims Buchanan violated his rights and used excessive force during a traffic stop that left him badly injured. This has been totally devastating. Derek feels humiliated, said Daryl K. Washington, a civil rights lawyer representing him. These physical injuries. Sorry about that. Something just came on my computer. Dunlap says he was driving his son home from a family member's house on May 25th, on May 25th, 2023, when he noticed he was being tailed by a pig. Buchanan then pulled him over and told him the lights near his license plate were not bright enough. While I take a second to be shell-shocked, Dave Hall, who's a troll? Are there trolls? Eagle Eye Liberty. What is going on, Eagle Eye Liberty? How you doing, man? I don't know about you guys, but this stuff gives me like serious anxiety, and it's really, really frustrating to read that people get pulled over for a license plate light not being bright enough. It really bothers me that legislators and no legislators and no governors have written a bill to get through a state legislator that the governor can sign that says we end all petty pullovers. No more license plate light. No more registration being pulled over. No more following too close. No more you didn't use a blinker. No more your registration is out. No more tinted windows. No more pulling us over for bullshit. Oh, well, we catch murderers and rapists when we do that. 99.9% of the time, you don't. 99.9% of the time, you don't catch murderers and rapists by saying your license plate light wasn't bright enough. That's why this pig who would sick his canine dog on this guy so frustrating. Definitely hard to watch. Dunlap claimed in his suit that he told Buchanan that his license had been suspended because of late child support payments, which has to change as well. This has to change as well. There it is right there. It takes one governor and one legislator to write a bill, put it through committee, get it to the governor's desk to sign it, that you can't lose your driver's license. Because even if you didn't pay child support, if you lose your license, up in the tri-state area, Derek Medley, his episode's coming out on American Patriot. If you strip the man of his driver's license, then he can't go to work. And if he can't go to work, then he can't pay child support. If you strip his driver's license because he didn't pay child support or fell behind, then what happens is on his way to work, when he's trying to get back on track, you pull him over and you arrest him for not having a driver's license. And now you have his car. They impounded his car. The car's going to cost at least $400 to get out. If he can't get that car out, he could lose the car. If he has no car, he can't go to work at all. And then he's really going to be behind on child support payments. It takes one legislator to write the bill and one governor to sign the bill in one state that ends this bullshit. Dirty jackboot thug pigs. Dirty jackboot thug pigs. Just disgusting. Just disgusting. End stripping the driver's license for child support, late or non-payment. So these are the things I'm going to do when I run for governor. I'm going to make a whole series when I'm running for governor, things that have to change. And I got a whole list of things, and someone can pause it and look at those things. But that's what has to happen. A governor has to come in on campaign promises of how he's going to give freedom and liberty back to the people. And that's how I'll be elected governor when I run for governor. Because there's no reason your license should be suspended because you didn't pay a child support payment when the woman can abort the baby. She can drop the baby off at a fire department. Just open the little side door on the fire department, slip the baby in, close the door, abandon the baby, perfectly fine. But if you miss a child support payment to that same woman, you get your license suspended and you go to jail. That's literally the law right now. A woman can take her infant and drop the infant or toddler off at the fire department. All good. If you're the dad paying child support payments to that woman and she doesn't want her baby, then what? He missed his... Dunlap claimed in his suit that he told Buchanan his license is suspended for late child support payments, according to Dallas News. He also says Buchanan asked him if he had a weapon or chemicals as he was coming from a high-risk area. What a load of shit. He said he didn't. Buchanan then allegedly tried to search Dunlap's pockets, which had Tic Tacs inside, the plaintiff claims. Buchanan allegedly grew irate and threw Dunlap on the ground. He then told Dunlap to put his hands behind his back and threatened to sick his dog on him. As Dunlap tried to comply, Buchanan told police canine to attack him at least 6 times. The dog bit and scratched Dunlap as his son sobbed in the car, and he suffered deep bite marks, and his back was badly scratched. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. New Jersey sheriff fatally shoots himself in a restaurant bathroom. Feds arrested 3 officers for beating detainee at jail. Next day, sheriff was going to lay off over 24 cops. Boy, that's a weird one, isn't it? That's a weird one, isn't it? You're going to lay off 24 cops? You're going to lay off. This was the one we just saw. 2.5 years of paid leave while earning $180,000. Officer fired for slamming drunk pedestrian's face on the pavement. Victim was assaulted by teens before police arrived.
Officer was facing criminal charges. A Bend police officer fired this month after an internal investigation. Kevin Ubales was placed on administrative leave, paid administrative leave, back in 2021 because of the incident that you see on your screen right now. The officer was facing criminal...
Wait a second. What'd she just say?
Back in 2021 because...
He's been on paid leave since 2021?
Because of the incident that you see on your screen right now. The officer was facing criminal charges for use of excessive force while on duty. According to Bend police, those criminal charges were dropped in November, but
who decided to drop the charges? And so it's been 2-3 years now. It's been since 2021. So they allowed the emotion and the fervor to die down, and then the district attorney, who works hand in hand with the pigs every single day, decided to drop the charges. He was on paid leave for almost 3 years. Almost 3 years of paid leave. 2.5 years on paid leave, earning $180,000. Slamming drunk pedestrian's face onto the pavement, but the charges were dropped in Bend, Oregon.
department continued with an internal investigation. No details of that investigation have been released. However,
so we don't get to know any of the investigation. Charges are dropped, and he gets $180,000 in pay.
Ubales was fired on Friday.
Who cares? He got $200,000 to sit around for 3 years.
Last week.
On June 6th, around 1 a.m., Bend police officer Kevin Ubales responded to a call of a possibly intoxicated person in the middle of Skyliners Road near the intersection of Northwest Lemhi Pass Drive. Ubales told the suspect, 42-year-old Caleb Joseph Hamlin, to stay on the ground on his knees, which he did.
Officer Ubales reached Caleb first, and when he did, he grabbed him from the back and violently slammed his body forward, slamming his upper body forward, resulting in Caleb's face striking the pavement with a thud.
How are charges dropped? How are the charges for that dropped? How'd they drop the charges?
District Attorney John Hummel says the public would never know of this incident if two other police officers at the scene, Peter Enna and Martin Tobago, had not reported to their supervisors Ubales' excessive use of force.
Officers Enna and Tobago are the embodiment of what it means to be a law enforcement officer.
No. Stop it. Stop it. It's a gang, and there are factions within the gang. And this pig who abused a person, slammed him face down into the ground, he was in a different faction of the gang that these two pigs were in. And he had done something in the gang that would make the other gang members want to turn against him. The two gang members who turned in this gang member are all in a gang. They don't embody what it's like to be a good cop. No. They were told by the leader of their gang, it could have been a different sergeant from this gang or a different sergeant from this gang. So the guy who got fired is in this gang. He's got his own sergeant. He's got his own lieutenant. He's got his own captain. Well, in this gang, in the same department, you got multiple sergeants. You got multiple lieutenants. You could have multiple captains. Just depends on the pig department. And so within the two gang structures that work together, this pig had made a mistake or overstepped his boundaries, but he didn't do it bad enough that he didn't get 3 years of paid leave. Don't ever think that the cops turned in a bad gang member because they're good cops. They turned in a bad gang member because the gang wanted to get rid of them. The entire system is rotten to the core. You know, my buddy Terry over in Louisiana, if you're listening, Terry, I'm glad you're here. Terry, I'm always doing stuff, and I don't announce it, but I'm always doing stuff. Terry and I have been working behind the scenes to try to sue this pig in Louisiana. And as we've gone down the road, we have tried to find a lawyer to represent Terry to sue the dirty jackboot thug pig in Louisiana who wrongfully arrested him. I'll show you who Terry is. I'll show you the video later. Yesterday, Terry sent me a text message, and he said in the text message, "Hey, Chille, because I want to sue this police department because it takes on Atwater versus City of Lago Vista." And I'm trying to find Terry's memo right here. He said, I said, hey, Terry, I called a lawyer for Terry. And I called the lawyer for Terry. I said, God dang it. Let me take a screenshot. That'll be easier. Okay, there it is. Now it's blocked off. Okay. So I said, we will raise the money for that attorney, challenge Atwater versus City of Lago Vista. And he said, we couldn't find him an attorney in Louisiana, and we've been looking. And so then I said, he sent me back a name of an attorney who would represent him in a federal tort lawsuit in a 1983 U.S. Code 42, deprivation of rights using the color of law. And so I want to help him file this lawsuit. So Terry and I have been in touch for a few months trying to get this done. And so of course, when Terry didn't get it done, because, he's a person and we all have our good parts and our bad parts, and we're busy and whatever. Well, when Terry didn't get it done, he didn't get a lawyer to file his US Code 42 against these pigs. I jumped on the phone and I started calling lawyers in Louisiana to help Terry sue the dirty jackboot thug pig who wrongfully arrested him. So after I made a series of phone calls to 10, 15 lawyers or whatever, trying to find a lawyer to hire to sue these pigs, I said to Terry, I said, Terry Water versus City of Lago Vista. He said he found an attorney. And he said, this is the same lawyer you talked to who said it was a conflict of interest for him. A conflict is when you have a relationship with the cop that you're suing, and then someone comes to you and says, I want to sue this cop. And you go, I can't sue the cop. I got a conflict. I have a relationship with that cop. The lawyer told me that he had a conflict because he had a relationship with the cop. How dirty is our system? Feels like a double cross. I'm jumping in the sauna for 30 minutes. It feels like a double cross. The same lawyer who talked to you and said it was a conflict of interest. That feels like a double cross. How dirty is the system? The lawyer would collude with the cop to take the case for Terry and then muff the case. That's what would happen. Eagle Eye Liberty, thanks for the super chat, man. Appreciate it. Liberty Blair, Patriot, AK-47. So now, because this lawyer got back to Terry and said, hey, I'll take your case, we're not going to hire that lawyer. He has a relationship with the cop. I told the lawyer the case. I explained to him, here's what happened to Terry. Here's the video. The lawyer said, I can't take the case because I have a relationship with the cop. Then why would I want to hire the lawyer later? It feels like a double cross to me. That's how dirty our system is. That's how corrupt our system is.
They understand their job is to enforce the law and keep us safe. I appreciate how difficult it must be to report a colleague for their misdeeds.
Supervisors Ubala's excessive use of force.
Officers Anna and Tobacco are the embodiment of what it means to be a law enforcement officer. They understand their job is to enforce the law and keep us safe. I appreciate how difficult it must be to report a colleague for their misdeeds.
Ubala's was placed on administrative leave the day of the incident. Bend PD requested an Oregon State Police criminal investigation into the officer's alleged use of force. That investigation revealed 3 Summit High School students assaulted Hamlin and left him injured in the street before he encountered Officer Ubala's.
What they were doing was teaching him a lesson, and they gave him a beatdown. They hit him and kicked him and beat him pretty good and left him on the ground.
Hummel says the victim has no memory of the encounters with the teenagers or the police due to intoxication and injuries he sustained.
Of course not. Of course not. Of course. I mean, I don't know about you, but this is so frustrating for me to see this happen. It is like, how does he not get charged?
They beat him pretty good.
Or the police due to intoxication
on the ground.
Hummel says the victim has no memory of the encounters with the teenagers or the police due to intoxication and injuries he sustained.
Wow, they just treated him like he was nothing. They treated him like his life didn't matter. They treated him like he was just nothing. Like they could just throw his body around and nobody cares about him. Nobody loves him. I mean, remember, that's a person. That's a human being they're doing that to. That is absolutely disgusting. I mean, there's just no reason in the world that should ever, ever, ever happen. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. I wish I could understand this, but I don't. I don't understand it. I don't understand how this can happen to people so often in this country. I just don't get it. It's more than a few bad apples. Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2024. What do you tell a pig on February 14th? Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Can someone put that in the chat? Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. That's exactly what I'm going to call him from now on. I mean, I'm going to show this. I'm going to show it. All right. I'll show it. That's fine. I'll show. So this is, I mean, just so you guys know, I am not a liberal. I am not a conservative. I straddle the lines of any sort of political scope where you would say, he's a liberal, he's a Democrat. I'm not a liberal or a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a conservative. I'm not any of them. So I'm willing to watch and listen to almost any different group of people. You could say you love Trump. You could say you hate Trump. You could say you love Biden. You could say you hate Biden. You could say you want to vote for Robert Kennedy Jr. You could say third party voting is a bad idea. I can sit there and have a conversation with you and listen to you. I may get uncomfortable a couple times, but I still won't raise my voice. I won't yell. I won't scream. And I'll just say, well, your ideas are stupid, but let's keep talking about them because I don't have any problem with it. So across Reddit, I look at all kinds of different things that I see on Reddit. It doesn't matter which group of people present it. I still just look at it. I'm always willing to take a look at it. And so in this one right here, this is from anarcho-communism. But look what they show. They show these cops just beating and pummeling this dude. What, Robert? Everybody wish Robert a happy birthday. Robert, happy birthday. Robert Diminuco. Robert Diminuco. Happy birthday, Robert. Happy birthday, buddy. Shoot me an email, Robert. Shoot me an email with your mailing address and your full name, and I'll send you out. I'll send you out both a trifold and I'll send you a pair of Fifth Amendment cop cards. Send you a trifold and a pair of Fifth Amendment cop cards just because it's your birthday. And you know what? We should be more giving, more loving, more willing to share with others. Give more, take less. Give as much as you possibly can. The best thing you can do is give. I can't show this big because if I do, then my channel will be demonetized. And there was an attempt. There it is. Happy birthday, Robert. And Rua here said, the system is divide and conquer. Ardo ab chao. Order out of chaos. KO. Ardo ab KO. Order out of chaos. They create the chaos and then create their order. That's interesting that you just said that. Let me show you something. Check this out. This is what you just said is so spot on.
If you take 100 black ants and 100 red ants and put them together in a glass jar, nothing happens. But if you shake the jar, the ants will start killing each other. The red ants will see black as the enemy, and the black ants will see red as the enemy. But the real enemy is the person who shook the jar. The same is true of society. Before we fight each other, we need to stop and ask ourselves, who shook the jar? If you take 100 black ants and 100 red ants and put them together in a glass jar, nothing happens. But if you shake the jar, the ants will start killing each other. The red ants will see black as the enemy, and the black ants will see red as the enemy. But the real enemy is the person who shook the jar. The same is true of society. Before we fight each other, we need to stop and ask ourselves, who shook the jar? If you take 100 black ants and 100...
So true. So true.
Rosie, you're back!
I saw this.
Rosie, we missed you. I missed you. Rosie, you met them alive? Yes. You're crying. I missed you. We missed you very much.
I saw this last month.
Rosie, you're back! You're back here, Rosie. We missed you.
I mean, if you guys didn't see the original, you may not understand why I showed it. But the nanny had to go back to her own country, and when she left, the two little girls just were just so broken. They were just so broken over it. And I watched it, and I sat there and cried. And I just saw this roll across my desk, and I thought to myself, man, that is just... No, I did not see that. Did you see the video of cops dancing to Eli's song? He writes songs regarding coppers' corruptions. No, I didn't see that. I'd love to see it though. I would absolutely love to see it. That would be fantastic. I would love to see it. It's just let me check my messages and see if I have I'm going to see if I have anything in my messages. I don't see anything in here just yet. I'm just looking right here. If you shoot that to me, I'll look up my Gmail account real fast and see if there's anything in here that came in. I mean, you know, I'm not sure if you guys know or not, but there's Robert. Robert, I got your email, bro. Robert, I need your, you got to send me your full mailing address. I'm not psychic. I'm not psychic, Robert. You got to send me. I'm just looking to see if someone sent me that video for those cops dancing. I wanted to see that bad chicken. Smoked insane. What is going on, man? What is going on? What's going on with the Playboy? I'm just taking a look here. And let me tell you guys something. And I got to talk about this a little bit because as this channel gets bigger, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed or not, but we've grown like 100,000 subscribers in the last month or so. Not quite, about last 3 months. The last 2 weeks, we've gained, so many tens of thousands of subscribers. And so I'm getting a lot of emails now of people sending me their case and sending me their documentation of their child being kidnapped from DFYS and stuff like that. You have to remember, my ability is limited. My ability of what I can do legally to help you is limited. What I can do is I can expose your story, but you have to be very careful that you temper your expectations with what I can actually do for you, because I'm not an attorney. I can't represent you in court. And I'm getting a lot of emails from people who are saying, "Hey, will you take my case?" I can't. I'm not a lawyer. I didn't even graduate from college. I got no-knock rated a few years after college, and that's what made me the constitutional law scholar I am today. That's what made me study all the case law, study the history, the foundation of our country. How can you no-knock raid my house from a confidential informant saying I'm a drug dealer? How's that possible? And so I started off with Illinois versus Gates from 1983, and then I ended up working backwards and getting to Terry versus Ohio, and then coming back forwards and following all the cases that Terry versus Ohio is the case precedent for the stare decisis. So you guys have to, in your emails to me, you have to remember, I can expose your video, but 3 different states have tried to prosecute me for practicing law without a license. So I can't even give you legal advice. I can tell you what I would do. I can tell you what I think you should do. I would say, I would do this, I would do that. Here's how I would do it if I were you. There's 3 different states that have let me know that they want to prosecute me for practicing law without a license. Even though I'm not practicing law without a license, it doesn't matter. I'm just limited in what I can and can't do for you. A guy contacted me today, wanted me to help him do this, help him do that. I sent it off to a lawyer and I said, "Hey, do you want to do this?" Because I can't do it. Yeah, Ohio is one of them. Ohio is definitely one of them. So I just want you to understand that my ability to help you with your legal problem is going to be limited. It will be limited because I simply can't do what I want to do, because the state has completely and utterly limited what I can and can't do. Let me check this out and see if you can watch this. This is pretty brutal. Yeah, I can pause it. We can watch it. I'll pause it at the right time, but they're going to kill him. Just so you know, this guy's going to die right here. Minnesota State Trooper charged with murdering in shooting of motorists. So once again, Minnesota, it's the same.
How you doing, my man?
I'm gonna need you to step out there. We have some stuff to talk about, okay? We just have some stuff to talk about. So I'm gonna...
Every time y'all talk about,
all right,
we need some stuff to talk about, y'all can take me to jail, but for what?
Okay. There's some stuff to talk about. Ramsey County, we just have to have stuff.
Wait, hold on, no.
He is black, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
No, because I'll call my attorney right now. Hey, this ain't no funny shit. Okay. If y'all talking about this shit with Terry Young,
but you have to step out. Okay?
Hold on, is it a warrant?
No, it's not a warrant. I need you to step out there.
Hold on.
So look at them surround his car like a pack of hungry dogs, like a pack of wolves. And for what reason does he need to go to jail? What's the warrant for? Why does he have to go to jail? Look at these guys. That's a demon. I want you guys to recognize that person right there is an evil demon. He's evil. This person's evil. He wants to do this. He signed up to do this. He signed up to take you to a dungeon. He signed up to hurt you. He thinks it's okay. He thinks he's doing good. He's a pig.
Y'all keep it a buck with me, bro. But if y'all can go for funny shit with me, y'all can tell me right now. So I can call my attorney.
So where is it that you have to give the cops your keys? What law is that?
Hand me my keys.
Hand me the keys to the vehicle. Hand me the keys to the vehicle.
Right.
Just hand me the keys.
Just tell him no. There's no law that says I have to give you my keys. Look at them surrounding his car.
Dude, y'all keep it a buck with me, bro. Y'all pull me over my headlights.
Okay.
They pulled him over for his headlights. Once again, another bullshit pullover.
Yep. I'm already past that. So like I said.
Oh, there it is. We're already past that. As governor, let me add that to my list. This will be a banned phrase or a banned term. You cannot say that ever again when I'm the governor of that state. We're past that now. Banned. I will ban it. I will ban it. You cannot tell, if you are a peace officer, you cannot tell the person who you're involved with, no, we're past that now. And why is that? It escalates everything. You say you have lost all reason as the cop. We're past that now. Why are we past that now? Because you've lost composure. Because you've lost your patience. We're past that now. Now you have to be criminally charged because my patience is gone. I will abolish it as governor. If you say that in the state that I'm the governor, you're fired. You cannot tell someone, oh, we're past that now. Because that escalates everything. That tells the person who you're investigating that you have no patience and that now you're going to be criminal charged because I'm impatient. That tells the person that is being persecuted that their life is now going to be upended with multiple criminal charges. We're past that now. What does that do on the scene? It ruins the scene. It escalates the entire thing. Cops got you and says, hey, we're past that now. Well, what does that mean? If we're past that now, does that mean I'm going to jail? Because if it means I'm going to jail and we're past that now, well, then I'm going to freak out. If you're telling me you're going to take me to jail and we're past that now, I'm going to lose my mind. Why are we past that now? Why are we past it? How come we're past that? Because the pig has lost his patience. Has nothing to do with you being criminal. Has nothing to do with you violating the law. Has to do with that he's past his patience place. He can't go back to his patience place. He's lost it. We're past that now. Banned when I'm the governor. Banned. You say that as a pig, you're fired. People don't understand. I've been arrested dozens of times. And in the dozens of times that I was arrested, there's one phrase that always terrified me and escalated the situation. And what phrase is that? We're past that now. And what's going to happen here? He's told the guy we're past that now. They're going to kill him. They escalated it. They took it to the next level. And then when he takes it to the next level, they're going to kill him. And it all starts from we're past that now.
You need to step out of the vehicle.
Okay, we passed that.
Hand me the key to the vehicle.
Right.
Just hand me the key.
Dude, y'all keep it a buck with me, bro. Y'all pull me over my headlights.
Okay. Yep. I'm already past that. So
We're already past that.
said you're gonna need to step out of the vehicle.
Okay, we passed that, so where we at then?
Okay.
If we're past that, where are we at then? Now we're at where you lose your liberty because we're past that.
You need to step out of the vehicle.
So where are we at though now?
Look at that. Four hyenas, 4 rabid dogs, 4 white guys trying to drag the black guy out of the car. Whether you like it or not, that's the graphic.
I'm gonna explain it all when you step out.
But when you say step out of the vehicle, you go explain to
this
me.
is not lawful.
And then y'all
When you say step out of the vehicle, what does that mean? That means you're going to torture cuff me and hurt me and then lock me away in a car to try to get me to say things that I don't want to say.
Get out the car now! Get out the car!
Fucking dress.
Too bad it wasn't worse. Did you hear a gun? It said shots fired. I didn't hear a gun. Did you hear a gun?
But when you say step out of the vehicle, you go explain to me.
This is not lawful.
And then y'all
Get out the car now! Get out the car!
I didn't hear a gunshot. Did you hear a gunshot? Oh, that was this a gunshot right here? Because he may have been killed right here. Listen carefully, please.
Get out the car now! Get out the car!
Was that a gunshot? That chung chung? Was that a gunshot or not? I couldn't tell.
Fucking dress.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but this guy's been to jail multiple times, so they know who he is, and he's a local in Minnesota, so there's no reason to act this way. You could just let him go and get him tomorrow or the next day or go to his last known addresses. You don't have to do all this. Is that a fact? It is. And he hasn't threatened to kill his ex-wife. He hasn't threatened to kill his neighbor. He's made no death threats. He just didn't want to be attacked by savage dogs on the side of the street. So you could just let him go and get him later? Yes, you could. You don't need to chase him? No, you don't. They know who he is? Yes, he has a criminal record. He's been to jail before. Oh, okay. So they know who he is? Yeah, they do. Okay. So then you don't need to act like a bunch of wild animals? That's right.
Yes, in pursuit. Dick Charles with Patton LTAC 2 for pursuit of shots fired westbound 94 for Dallas going right 402.
They said he was pulled over for. They said he was pulled over for his headlights.
Or stop 47.
And so he was pulled over for lights, and so this is necessary? I mean, this is really necessary to do to us when you can catch people? People cannot get away in the digital era. Very few people will ever get away once they've committed a crime of any kind in our country now because of the facial recognition and the cameras everywhere, and that there's tracking devices in your phone, in your car. You can't get away. And so we know people can't get away, and so this is what... There's your heroes. The guy's likely dead. This is what I'm talking about. The most uncoordinated douche. Remember, these guys are beta males. Remember that?
License status.
Douche. Douche.
Paramedic.
Yeah, he's dead.
I need lethal cover.
Yeah, he's dead. You killed him. You killed him. You murdered him. And this guy, the other guys put their guns away and he pulls his out. Look at them all ready to go guns.
Garrett's we're on the other side.
Yep.
Garrett, just hold him at gunpoint.
Hold him at gunpoint. He's bleeding out. You already shot him. People in the chat are saying it was 3 times. He's dead and dying. He didn't stop the pursuit because he couldn't outrun you. He stopped the pursuit because he's dying and dead.
Hold him at gunpoint, man.
Hey, stay with me, man.
I mean, forgive me for laughing. Forgive me for laughing. That dirty jackboot thug pig goes from hold him at gunpoint, stay with us, man. Which is it? Either the guy's bleeding out, dying, and dead, or you need to hold him at gunpoint. Which is it, pig? Which is it? Which is it? You're holding him at gunpoint, or he's dead?
Garrett, just hold him at gunpoint.
Just hold him at gunpoint, man.
Hey, stay with me, man.
It wasn't even 3 seconds between the time he said, hold him at gunpoint, before he said, stay with us, man. You are a bunch of scared bitches, dude. You cops are horrible. If you sign up to this jackboot thug pig organization, you are a scumbag. You are a scumbag. And anybody in your family who's a pig, let them know. We have to disrespect these pigs. Disrespect them as men, as women. Disrespect them to their face. Why? Because they'll so gladly shoot you. They'll so gladly put you in torture cuffs. They'll so easily take you away to a dungeon. So easily charge you with multiple crimes. So easily impound your car. Disrespect these pigs. Disrespect them. I mean it. Disrespect them right to their face.
Stay with me. Stay with me.
Oh, hold him at gunpoint. Stay with me, man. Hold him at gunpoint. Stay with me, man. Like you give a shit about this guy, dude. You bunch of rabid dogs were attacking him to begin with.
That's you. Yeah. All right. My way. My way.
Stay with me, man. Hey. I'm going to go to my med bag.
Med bag. Stay with me. Hey, man. Straighten his legs up.
Well, get him in torture cuffs first. I mean, come on, follow policy. You got to get him in torture cuffs.
Me too. Yep. Keep breathing, man. Keep breathing.
Just hold on a second. Just stop. Just stop the dog and pony show. Okay. Just stop it. You don't care. You just cut. Just cut it. You're just going to see a charade. Remember the game you played as a kid? Play charades. It's a movie, 3 words. First word, 1 syllable, starts with a C. Cops murder people. This is a charade. It's a total joke. They don't care about saving his life. They don't care about him. They don't care about who he leaves behind. They don't care about his plight. He told them when they pulled him over, you guys always pull me over, pull me out of the car and take me to jail. And he just doesn't want to go to jail again. Have you been to jail before? You go once, you never want to go back. It literally is a dungeon. It literally is hell on earth. And now this dog and pony show as though they're...
Keep breathing with us.
2 abdomen, 3 abdomen.
We need occlusive dressing. I need something.
They don't care. They don't care. This is all a dog and pony show. No, they don't care. They don't care if that guy dies or not. They don't care at all. The one who shot him 3 times, or someone said it was 3 pops.
Scissors.
Oh yeah, you're working so hard. But didn't you so easily shoot him? You so easily shot him as he pulled away. You so easily murdered him. So easily you murdered him. But now, hurry, scissors, hurry. We need a wrap here. Hurry. I need this. Hurry.
You got scissors?
They don't care.
Cut it. Okay. I got one to the shoulder. Two. Okay, hold on. Two to the. Let's roll right.
2 to the what?
What's in his back?
To the chest? To the head?
We have one on the left butt cheek. Okay.
Shot him in the butt?
I don't see any real blood coming out. Hold on.
He's dead.
Give me some guys.
He's dead.
Give me some guys.
Here's the other cops running code 3. You can hear the code 3 in the background. Start CPR for what? He's got 3 holes in him. As you pump on his chest, the blood pumps out the holes. Stupid. It's just plain stupid. It's just stupid. It really, truly is stupid. Minnesota State Trooper charged with shooting of motorist. So this is dated, this is January 24th, 2024. Let's see exactly what he was charged with. A Minnesota pig was charged with murder Wednesday in the shooting of Ricky Cobb after he refused to get out of his car during a July traffic stop. Pig Ryan Lundgren is charged with second-degree unintentional murder. Fuck you. I mean, really, fuck you. Fuck you. Unintentional murder? Didn't we see a misdemeanor homicide? And now we're seeing an unintentional murder? I'm not going to pull my gun up from right here. My gun's right here by my desk, okay? If I take my gun, okay? If I take my gun and I put it right up to you, right this close away, and then I pull the trigger, that is not an unintentional murder. If I pull my gun and I point my gun at you from a foot away and I shoot you, that's homicide. That's murder. If I put a gun this close to you, whether it be a 22 caliber, my 44 Magnum sitting right here, or a Glock, or any other kind of handgun, besides a BB gun, and even then, if you shot someone with a BB gun this close, you'd be charged with what? Attempted murder. This dirty jackboot thug pig is charged with unintentional murder. Never heard of it. Put a 1 in the chat if you've never heard of a charge of unintentional murder. I've never heard that. They're just creating things so they can let government actors off from murdering us. We have to start to form militias. Each block in America has to start to form militias. It's perfectly legal. Don't do anything illegal. Just set up your block readiness in case we get attacked by a foreign country or the government turns completely tyrannical on us. Each and every city block in America, each and every residential block in America should have a leader of the militia or a centralized command system, just like these jackboot thug pigs are doing. We should all have on all of our blocks a militia set up. It's coming. Can you not see it? Do you not see that it's coming? Are you unaware? It's coming. Unintentional murder? Misdemeanor homicide? What other laws are they creating? What other laws are they creating? First-degree assault and second-degree manslaughter in the death of Cobb. Hennepin County Attorney Mary Lyer said at a news conference, as with all Minnesota pigs, state pigs may only use deadly force if it's necessary to protect a person from specific identified threat of bodily harm or death that was reasonably likely to occur. That did not exist in this case. Ricky Cobb should be alive today. An attorney for Lundgren calls his client a hero. Wow. 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 How do you say this? Moriarty. Her name is Mary Moriarty. An attorney for Lundgren called his client a hero and attacked Moriarty for charging Cobb. This county attorney is literally out of control. Open season on pigs must end. And it's going to end with this case, attorney Chris Madel said in a video statement. Oh, really? Lundgren has not been arrested. Why wasn't he? Moriarty said her office will not seek to hold him on bail, but will ask the court to require him to surrender his passport and guns. She expects his first court appearance to be scheduled for later this week or early next week. Lundgren shot Cobb, 33, after a July 31st traffic stop on Interstate 94 in Minneapolis. According to blah, 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 authorities have not provided information on Lundgren's race. He was white. They were all white. We saw that. Trooper Brett Seed initially pulled over Cobb when he saw the tail lights were out on the... There it is again. What are we seeing? What are we seeing time and time and time again? It's always your license plate light didn't work. Your tail lights were out. You were following too close. Your registration was expired. And what happens? We end up dead. We end up dead. The Bureau has said previously that Seed checked Cobb's record and found he was wanted for a probable cause arrest of a felony order for protection violation. I mean, look at the word salad they're creating. Probable cause arrest for felony order for protection violation. Issued by nearby Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. Lundgren said Trooper Garrett Erickson arrived later and helped as Seed tried to pull Cobb out of the car before Lundgren shot him. Cobb was able to drive a short distance before stopping his Ford Fusion on the interstate, where he died. What was this right here? He said, it said here, called him a hero. And it's good. Chris Madel said in a video statement. What is that?
This county attorney has provided sweetheart deals to murderers and kidnappers, and now today she...
Here's the bootlickers.
Charges a hero. This county attorney...
What did he just say?
He called... This county attorney has provided sweetheart deals to murderers and kidnappers, and now today she charges a hero. This county attorney is literally out of control. Open season on law enforcement must end, and it's going to end with this case. This county attorney has provided sweetheart deals to murderers and kidnappers, and now today she charges a hero. This county attorney is literally out of control.
We are sorry, there is no one available to take your call. Please record your message after the tone. Press star to discard the recording, or press any digit to end the recording.
My name is ChilleDeCastro. I'm a nationally known journalist. I have a channel on YouTube. All my calls are recorded. Everything I do is on the record. I'm calling for Chris Madel. Mr. Madel, I hate to inform you of this, but the police in this country are out of control. They're murdering, raping, and killing people at an astounding rate. And you are a cop-sucking piece of shit. And you know that, Chris? Someday, if this world turns, my friend, you are the enemy. You are a beta male cuck. You are a piece of shit, Chris. That cop who murdered on the side of the road in Minnesota is a murdering piece of shit, just like you, Chris. This voicemail right here, I'm broadcasting to tens of thousands of people. By the time this video that I'm making now, as I leave you a voicemail, has been seen, tens of thousands of people will have seen this. And I got right here. I got you, bro. I got you. I'm just letting you know you're a piece of shit. You are a maggot and a piece of shit. May God have mercy on your soul, because if it was me, I'd send you straight to hell for protecting a murderer. He's calling him a hero. You are a piece of shit, bud. And if you think that I'm going to be the only one who tells you, guess again. There'll be other people who will let you know what a piece of shit you are. My contact number showed up. My email address is deletelaws@gmail.com. You're more than welcome to come on the program, Chris. Bring your cop-sucking bib with you, you piece of shit maggot. You could burn in hell.
Press 1 to listen to the recording. Press 2 to save the recording.
My name is ChilleDeCastro. I'm a nationally known journalist. I have a channel on YouTube. All my calls are recorded. Everything I do is on the record. I'm calling for Chris Madel. Mr. Madel, I hate to inform you of this, but the police in this country are out of control. They're murdering, raping, and killing people at an astounding rate.
Yeah.
And you are a cop-sucking piece of shit. And you know that, Chris? Someday, if this world turns, my friend, you are the enemy. You are a beta male cuck. You are a piece of shit, Chris. That cop who murdered on the side of the road in Minnesota is a murdering piece of shit, just like you, Chris. This voicemail right here, I'm broadcasting to tens of thousands of people. By the time this video that I'm making now, as I leave you a voicemail, has been seen, tens of thousands of people will have seen this. And I got right here. I got you, bro. I got you. I'm just letting you know you're a piece of shit. You are a maggot and a piece of shit. May God have mercy on your soul, because if it was me, I'd send you straight to hell for protecting a murderer, calling him a hero. You are a piece of shit, bud. And if you think I'm going to be the only one who tells you, guess again. There'll be other people who will let you know what a piece of shit you are. My contact number showed up. My email address is deletelaws@gmail.com. You're more than welcome to come on the program, Chris. Bring your cop-sucking bib with you, you piece of shit maggot. You could burn in hell.
Press 1 to listen to the recording. Press 2 to save the recording. Press 3 to re-record your message. Message saved. Goodbye.
There you go, Chris. I just let you know exactly how I feel, bro. You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit, dude. Clearly, you can see there was no danger for the cops. They were on the side of the road. Clearly, you can see there was no danger. Clearly. I'm just saying. You can see it. I'm allowed to tell Chris whatever I want. I can say whatever I want to that pig sucker. I can say whatever I want to him. And there's no limit to what I can say to him. I didn't threaten him. I didn't say I was going to stalk him down. I'm not going to. He's in Minnesota. I'm in LA. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to expose him for the pig sucker that he is. This DA is out of control. You mean because she's actually holding the pig accountable for murdering that man? She's holding him accountable for murdering Cobb? And so she's out of control? I lost his life for a taillight being out. Remember when I was up in the Midwest in Wisconsin, they pulled me over for no taillights? It's just disgusting. What we're seeing is just disgusting. This is the reason why. Do you see what I'm saying? If they're going to take you to jail, right? If you get pulled over and the cops are going to take you to jail, right? Don't die. Don't die. Don't die. Don't fight the police. Don't be violent. Don't do anything. Don't make any, what they call them, fervor movements or something like that. You have your license, your registration, your proof of insurance, everything. The slip is right there. I got my registration, my insurance, everything's in my trifold. It goes above your head. You plead the fifth, and then let those pigs do whatever they're going to do, and hopefully we can get them later in court. Because I want you to live. As much as I hate pigs, I hate them, I still don't want you to lose your life. I still don't want you to die. I don't want you to die. You know what I mean? If I thought for a moment we could overrun these pigs and take our country back, I would be leading that movement. I don't think we can. I think that 95% of America is afraid. 90%, 85% are cowards, outright cowards, that if you were in a fight, they would run home. That's the majority of our country. So if I thought that we could fight them in a physical fight, in a war, I would say, let's have a war. I don't think we can. I don't think we can beat them in a war. I think they're too well organized. I think they have encrypted radios. I think that they have the guns. I think that a few people in your family would be killed and you would give up. I think everybody would. If I thought we could physically overrun the pigs, I would say, let's overrun the pigs. I don't think we can. I don't think we can. So that's not what I say. If I thought we could, I'd be for that. I mean, if Doc K passed out the cop cards to 3 people recently. This is all we can do. Invoke your rights. Fight for your rights. You got to, every day when I come on here, when I get off, I'm pretty disappointed. Every time I come on here and visit with you guys, I leave here and I'm just broken. I'm just, yeah. And Press with Ranker said he thinks the numbers are even higher. I can't tell you how many people I've met on my journey the past 2.5 years that when I meet them, they're afraid. They're afraid. And this says, true, you're right. We need numbers and organization. So, let me just talk candidly here. I'm not leading a revolution. I'm not trying to fight or overthrow our government. I'm not trying to bring anybody to violence. What I'm trying to get you to do is to stand on your rights, even if it means you got to go to jail. Stand on your rights. Start to connect with one another in this room. Start to connect with people on your block, in your neighborhood. Start to form militias all over the country, because in the next 10, 20, 30 years, we may need to have a band of people that band together to protect your own block, whether that be from foreign or domestic. We have that right to do that. And that's what I want you guys to do. Start to form militias on your block. Start to form groups of people in the same geolocation so that you can create what you need to create to protect yourselves. And that has nothing to do with attacking anybody. Has nothing to do with attacking government, attacking police, has nothing to do with it. It's purely a self-defense mechanism. A militia is purely a self-defense mechanism. We are not in any way, shape, or form going out trying to take on people. That's what we see these pigs do. We don't want to become them. You need to start to form militias on your blocks so that when it comes down to it, you have a team of people who will back you up. And you have to have the same backing that the pigs do, where you'll go all the way with these people. You have to start to form your own militias, which is in our Constitution. You have a right to do that. Then do it. Then do it. I'm in no way, shape, or form advocating for violence at all whatsoever. If I was advocating for violence in the past 3 years, I've been attacked by cops. You would have seen me fight them. You don't fight people. We are going to beat them with pure numbers, with pure numbers, with pure numbers. We just have to have our own organization. They are organized to the teeth. And if someone comes and snatches up your son, where is your protection? How are you going to stop that from happening? There's no third party right now. So how do you stop from being kidnapped? When they push forward with the next plan, when they push forward with the next plan, like they had a plan a couple of years ago, are you going to be prepared? Who's going to back you up? When you say, you're not coming into my house and taking away my guns and forcing medication into me, who's going to back you up? Did you form a group of people in your area to back you up in case they come to your door and say, we're going to force you to do this, whether that be a foreign government or a domestic government? Do you have a group of people to help you? That's what I'm saying. We've got to start to organize. You got to start to organize your block, your city, your town, your people. Start to organize. They are very organized. They are very, very organized. They are. Look how organized they are. Are you organized? It's just shell shocking, isn't it? To see that a guy like Chris would say how he's protecting a hero who murdered Cobb in the street. Are you seeing it? Are we all seeing it? We're all seeing it, right? Start to organize your groups. Start to organize people on your blocks. Not to be an offense, to be a defense. We're not trying to fight anybody. Remember, most people don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. Do you want to fight? I don't want to fight. I don't want to see people die in the streets. I don't want that. We can't go to violence. If we go to violence, we failed. They're going to go to violence. These are the pigs. You and I cannot go to violence. We cannot. We cannot be the perpetrator of violence on another human being. That's what we don't want. Oh, I know how you feel, man. I know how you feel. But I don't think, look how organized they are. They have all the guns. They have all the encrypted radios. Why do you think they're bringing in illegals to be cops and they've encrypted radios in all the major cities now? They're against us. We have to have our own groups that are for us. We have to start to organize. We have to start to organize. It's going to get worse before it gets better. It's going to get worse. It will get worse. You know that. It'll get worse. Oh, man. There was something I want to show you guys. There was something I want to show you. Oh, man. There is something I want to show you. I saw this yesterday and I was like, oh my God, I've got to show this. And I haven't showed it yet. And I'm going to show it right now. You've got to see this. It's in a short. So this guy has got his own political message. He's got his own agenda. One second. I'm going to show this to you. Here it is.
Hey, stop. Don't do that. Hey, don't do that.
He has no ropes. The guy, the name of his channel is Pro-Life Spider-Man.
Hey, stop. Don't do that. Hey.
The cops are beating on the window and he's saying, don't mess up my focus. I'm on the outside of a giant skyscraper.
Don't do that.
No ropes, no nothing.
Good. Hey, stop banging, dude. I'm trying to focus here. You're gonna mess me up. I'm good. I'll meet you at the top, dude. I'm trying to focus here, man. I can't hear you. Leave me alone. I'm trying to focus. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, okay? Dude, I got...
So pro-life Spider-Man, when I go here and I go to the Chase building, let me see if I can, it's here. That's the 23-second version. I have it here. 1 second. Let me pull it up. So this guy's going to climb the Chase Tower. I want to show you guys something here. This is really, really insane. He's going to climb the Chase Tower.
I'm in this building.
So he just walks up to the building, goes over the fence, and there's a tiny little wedge here in the Chase building. Okay. So now, as you know, he's going to get way up here. He's just wedged his feet and his hands between these buildings. He's got no gloves on. It looks like his hands are cold. It's incredible, right? This isn't why I'm showing you this. I want you to enjoy the climb, but there's a reason why I'm showing this to you. It has to do with police. Oh. Does this give you anxiety? This gives me big time anxiety. Does this make your stomach jump? Yeah. This this makes me get like vertigo and stuff. This makes me feel like really, really, yeah. When him just pulling his hands down, my stomach jumps. And I watched about 20 of his videos yesterday, and there's a reason why I did. So just stay with me for 1 second. I'm going to show you the point behind this in a second. Oh. Oh. How can he face outwards and do it? I would at least have to face inwards. Oh my God.
All right, I'm up here.
Hey, Mason, it's Mike.
What's up, Mike?
How you doing, brother?
Doing good.
You got water with you and things like that, Mason? Or you gonna get to the top?
I'm just gonna get it at the top.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you know this is like the so you know you're about halfway up to the top. Are you still gonna think you're gonna be good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Arrest there. The top. Fire and he is about 3/4 of the way up.
So the reason, in my perspective, the reason why Fox covers his entire climb is because he's called the pro-life climber. He's anti-abortion, he's pro-life. And so Fox News covered his entire climb. Now I'm jumping ahead 17 and a half minutes into the coverage because Fox News shows him climb from like a quarter of the way up when they get called all the way up to the top. And there's a part right here that is really going to be telling. When I say state-run media operative, when I say from the state-run media, I want you to listen carefully to what the reporter is saying, and you'll pick it up. Y'all are a really sharp group of people. So listen carefully.
There, this building is 40 stories high. It's almost 500 feet, just shy of that at 483 feet there. And we continue to see this all play out in real time right here on Live Now from Fox. Viewer discretion is always highly advised for these because this video is raw and unfiltered. We are getting it for you right there as it is coming in to our newsroom. As you can see, he is almost now at the top. Waiting it out just a little bit more. But a very, very tense moment being played out in downtown Phoenix. And of course, we always bring in live coverage when we get the breaking news shots available to us. We bring it to you all in real time right here. And you just never know what the next breaking news or top feed is going to be. And now you can see there from the perspective on your left, you have the guy there now talking to fire and Phoenix police as well. Just a couple of more feet for him to go.
So what is the state media reporter going to say next? Wait for it.
As this guy did go up 480 feet up in the air, scaling it, just using his arms and legs to wedge himself up there. And now...
And now what?
At the top.
At the top. So what happens at the top? Take a look over here on the right screen. See him scaling on the left screen over here, but take a look at the right screen. What do you see over there?
As you can see right there, let's go to that shot here for you in full. Now the guy has made himself onto the roof here. Let's go to Skyfox video, now showing you of what will be the eventual arrest there of...
There it is.
Of what will be the eventual arrest there of that guy who just scaled it 483 feet from the sidewalk all the way.
So what was the guy's, what crime is that? And listen to how the state-run media reporter, what he automatically goes to is that thanks, Steve. I appreciate you, man. I'll thank you. When you climb and you have a special skill and you climb to the top of a building, you should be getting pats on the back. You should get a medal. You should be congratulated for what you did. If you fall and die down that tiny little shaft where if you fall, you're only going to fall straight down. If someone's coming out that door randomly, then you could kill that person. But that's like a 0.0001% chance. So if he's only endangering his own life, then why is he going to be arrested? And listen to how easily the state-run media, how they just go right with it that...
Now the guy has made himself onto the roof.
He's
here.
made it to
Let's
the top.
Go to Skyfox video.
Skyfox video for what?
Showing you
what?
Of what will be the eventual arrest there of that guy who just scaled it 483 feet from the sidewalk all the way up to the roof there. And now that is all wrapped up there. So
let me ask you a question. After he's climbed 485 feet, does he go in torture cuffs? Do you put him in torture cuffs? Is that what happens? Does he go in torture cuffs? Holy Jesus, Steve. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you for the donation. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate you, man. It's remember, you guys may come here one day and my channel is not here. Remember that. They don't want this message of you should have a militia on every block, that you should not just willingly go with police. Don't fight them, but don't just turn around and be a bitch, that you should sit in around police departments in the thousands of people. They don't want those messages going out. They don't want that. Sit in. You don't form a militia to go kill people. You form a militia so that you can get enough peace activists that when the cops in Minnesota murder someone, you take 1,000 people and you go sit around that police station when you shut down their operations for a full day. That's peacefully protesting. Not sitting in the highway and saying I'm a climate protester as you mess up regular people. You mess up the government by protesting the government, by going to that pig shack with your militia of people from your block, your 4 blocks, your 8 blocks, and you go sit in the police department parking lot. You go sit in the gate where they try to get their cars in and out. They're going to get charged. You're going to get charged. That's peacefully protesting. That's redressing government with nonviolence. That's how you do it. We don't want to be known as the group of people who went to violence. We don't want that. We don't want anybody to say, oh, that group over there, they're a bunch of thugs and hoodlums. We don't want that. We want to be the good people. If it goes to violence and you're a part of it, you failed. That doesn't mean you can't protect yourself when you're being attacked and make sure your head doesn't hit the ground as the cops are trying to throw you head first in the ground. That means you can't turn around and punch the cop in the face. You don't think I want to? Sure, I want to. We can't be the group that goes to violence. Remember, I have one troll channel that has 32,000 people on that channel that their entire focus is bashing me. They've contacted my family, my friends, cops, tried to have me arrested, tried to file restraining orders against me, created a fake dossier, said I was a pedophile, said I was a felon. I'm not. Made up all kinds of things about me. They want us to be the group that goes to violence. We are not that group. I do not endorse you if you want to go to violence. We have to take over with peaceful protests like Gandhi. Gandhi led hundreds of thousands and millions of people, and he brought his people and sat in the road. Thousands and thousands of people. Nobody could do anything. Gandhi took over by using peace. And that's our goal. That's my goal. I hope that's yours too. That's our mission. We cannot go to violence. And I want to be clear about that. You know, I think I have been. So the state-run media report.
Individual will be arrested, as it was a very tense moment being played out there. And now that is all wrapped up there. So that individual.
So he's all wrapped up now doing what he was trying to do. And so now what should happen to him?
Will be arrested.
He's going to be arrested. What does that tell any dreamers? You're a dreamer? Don't dream of doing big things. You're going to get arrested for that.
As it was a very tense moment being played out there live for you right here online.
And just so you know, I fast forwarded all the way through. And I went all the way to the end of the video to see if I could see him being put in torture cuffs. And when I came all the way down to here, I never saw them.
And legs. And, you know, one small little slip could have ended it all there. But let's just talk also about using this Super Bowl week maybe as a platform
for his pro-life stance, which I understand. He's got his mission, dude. I'm not pro-life. I'm pro-choice. I'm pro-choice. I just don't. I think I'm overstepping my boundaries here by trying to tell a chick she's going to carry my baby, whether she likes it or not. So I'm pro-choice. I would rather you have the baby, but if you get raped by your uncle or your grandpa or your dad, or you get raped on a date, you shouldn't be forced to have that baby. So I'm pro-choice. Don't hold it against me, but you know, it is what it is. This is telling here. Check this out. Thanks, Steve. God bless you, man. Thank you. What happens when I get to this top of the skyscraper?
All right, tell him not to grab me. Just let me get up, and then as soon as I'm up there, you can arrest me.
People always ask me, what happens when I get to the top of a skyscraper? Well, this is what happens.
He gets arrested. Oh my God, he can slide right off that. Look at that.
I got it.
Yeah, don't help him. If you help him, he didn't do it on his own. He doesn't need a hand at the very last step.
Yeah. You mind if I hop over this too, and then I won't resist or anything, guys. This is good. Oh.
Yeah! Hell yeah!
All right, tell him not to grab me.
Give him a high five, man. Give him a high five. Give him a high five for what he just did. That's what you do, man. When someone climbs a tower like that, you give them a high five. Oh, my Lord. My Lord. I want a better world, you know? And the only way we're going to get a better world is through good leadership. And I think we can change this country without going to violence. I think we can do it. You know, I know that every single revolution has been done with blood. But I hope, with social media, how we can all connect with one another. That's why I keep telling you guys, go to my website if I'm ever not here. Because as soon as I get to a certain level, they're going to delete my channel. They're going to delete my social media. They're going to try to end what we're doing. So just remember that. That's what they'll try to do. And then I had gone originally to the reason I came here when I went to Reddit Next Level. The reason I went there is because often when I end these long, we're at 3.5 hours right now. What I'm doing, and I've said this, I'm branding who I am because they've tried to cancel me a few times. So the reason I'm doing 3, 4 hour, 5 hour podcasts every day is because I'm branding my identity so that nobody else can ever try to brand me again. When I got kicked off TikTok, when they deleted all my accounts in 2021, I was called a racist. It was crazy because I had been teaching the history of institutional racism in our country. Jungle is massive. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. And so what I realized is the powers that be, and these are obviously Democratic powers on TikTok. It's a blue social media platform. The Democratic platform didn't want me getting too known in civil liberties and civil rights. So if I'm ever not here one day, find me on my website. You'll be able to find me. I will reemerge. I will not ever stop. I promise you. I won't stop until I win the governorship. I won't stop. I have nothing else I want to do. Nothing else interests me. You can't get me with lust. I'm past it. I turned 50 this year. My testosterone dropped. I don't give a shit. You can't get me with lust. You can't get me with criminality. You can't get me with racism. I've limited the ways that they can say that I'm bad. You can't get me that I'm a party animal or a womanizer or a drinker or a drugger. You can't get me in any of these ways. And so that's what I've done over the past few years is slowly just checked off the things that people can ruin you for. Now, I didn't see the racism thing, them calling me a racist in 2021. What do I teach you guys? That the laws were created for black people. I'm so racist. That's because I'm deeply racist. I tell you that the laws were created for blacks because really I hate my own skin color. Or really, I say that the laws were created, and I know it's a fact, were created against black people so that way we can get rid of all the black people, right? Come on. That's what I'm doing here. I'm branding who I am as a person, and I'm sharing my inner self with you so that people really know who I am. And I love it. Like when I jump on the phone with a guy like Steve or Edward or James or Chuck or Richard, if I jump on the phone with one of you or Michael or April or Vicky or Tierra or James or Cassandra, when I jump on, I'm just reading off a list of names who I've talked to on the phone. When I jump on the phone with you, the strangest thing for me as someone who's been online here now for almost 3 years talking out loud is when I call JT Soup, if JT Soup and I are friends on Instagram, if I call JT, here's the funniest part, right? If I call Chevy on the phone, right? Chevy knows me. He's one of my best friends. He knows me inside and out. I don't know him. So when I call people on the phone, I spend most of the time listening to what they're doing and their life and what their passion is and how they became a member of Team DLZ. Each and every one of you, put a 1 in the chat if you have a story as to the reason why you're here and would back a character like me. Put a 1 in the chat if you have a story as to the reason why you're here today. You have a story that happened to you. I talked to a guy last night on the phone for 50 minutes, 50. I didn't start recording the call until 30 minutes in. I got the call. This guy I talked to yesterday, he had a story, man. I'm going to cry. This guy had a story, and he told me his story. And listening to his story, I'm going to hold this together right now. He had been persecuted and prosecuted and wrongfully charged and wrongfully imprisoned. He had been cheated and lied about. He had been abused and beaten by this jackboot thug pig system. And I talked to this guy last night on the phone for almost an hour. And about 20 minutes in, I started recording. And I'm going to give him a call back and ask him if I can release some of the stories that he told me. But I sat there last night listening to this guy. And the whole time he was talking, he talked of the 50 minutes that we talked, he talked for 46. And I listened to him talking. And I was just, the whole time, I was just sitting there, just shaking my head. I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. Couldn't believe it. Wrongfully imprisoned, wrongfully abused, wrongfully tortured, wrongfully cheated. And I'm so grateful that I took over the shipping of my products, because over the past 3 months, I've talked to so many of you, and I know why so many of you are here. And what that did for me, I'm not sure if you guys noticed or not, but the past couple months, I've really opened up my soul and just said, here's what I've been through. Here's what happened to me. I hate cops, right? I never said before that I hate cops, but I do. I don't hate the person. I'm not a human hater. I'm a cop hater. I hate that guy. Got dressed up in that G.I. Joe loser outfit and thinks he's my boss. I hate him, right? Doesn't mean I hate people. I hate cops. And before I talked to so many hundreds of you on the phone because of the shipping snafu, I didn't feel as comfortable. You know, I didn't want to be quite as raw dog as I actually am. And because I've talked to so many of you now, and I know that so many of you feel like me or beyond, now I feel more comfortable to say, you know, why I am, you know, Liberty Blair says, I hate what they do to people. And look, I hate the organization. You know, I don't hate people though. You know, I hope the cop lives through it and that he gets kicked out of the pig force or retires from the pig force and finds the light. But it's just, I've just changed. You know, I've changed this past few months, talking to you, talking to guys like Victor, I mean, all you guys, I don't want to point anybody out that I've spoken to because I don't want, but it's just changed me. It's made me more comfortable to say who I actually am because of all the phone calls I've had with so many people. Fishing Syndicate, an activist, he said it's the system they created and the system that we allowed to be created around us that these guys can jump us. 3-4 guys can grab us and they can start punching. 2-3 guys can be holding you and another man can start punching you in the face, and they call it pain compliance. No, that's not. That's a gang jump. That's not pain compliance. That's a gang jump. Shavindu said, I'm trying to come out of PTSD from the jackboot thug pig trauma. So many of you have a story like him. And so it's empowered me to be who I am. And I'm not afraid of who I am. I'm a decent person. You know, I know I'm a decent person because when I do stupid shit, and I've done stupid shit in my lifetime, I can't sleep. I can't sleep. If I do something wrong, I can't sleep. And when I lay down to go to bed, I sleep like a baby. 2 seconds. I mean, literally, as soon as I say, I think I'm going to go to bed, I put my head on the pillow, poof, I'm out. So I know that I'm living my life correctly. I know that I'm living my life right. And, you know, that's all I can do. Just keep doing what I'm doing and encourage you guys to stay strong. Keep building our numbers. Keep on trying to turn your Kevin or Karen in your life. That could be your cousin, your best friend, your mother, whoever it is. Turn the Karen or Kevin. That's our mission for the next year or two. Turn the Karen or Kevin in your life. Turn them. Turn them. April, right? Turn them. If we don't turn them, we can't turn the tides. We can turn the tides on this, and we can make it so we have a free country. With the paper and the legislation written now, we can turn the tides. It'll take getting the Karen in your life, the Kevin in your life, to see the light. It'll take getting that person. So please get them. And yesterday I made this big commitment to myself. I'm going to get, I'll tell you in a month. I'll tell you in a month what I'm doing. But I made a pretty big commitment to myself, and I'm going to stick through it. I'm coming up on 4 hours. I better get the flock out of here. America 1776. Roy, what's going on, sissy? Let's go, OTVO. Let's go, OTVO. I shipped you out a pair of cop cards. You should be getting that in the mail. Yeah. All right. I'll get the flock out of here. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I really appreciate it. I will hit you up, Chuck P, as soon as I get off this live. Steve, thanks for the donation, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, dude. I give you my word. I won't stop. There's nothing that will deviate me or separate me or get me to stop doing exactly what I'm doing. I'm spending hours at a time here so that we get to know each other. And when I call you on the phone, let's have a talk. I'll get the flock out of here. Thanks for coming. Later, Gators.